There's no intro song because you haven't earned one, and frankly, because they're kind of tacky. On to the show.
Hi, are we live?
That is the best
Yes.
intro song I've yet to hear.
Well, hello everybody. Welcome to the DEvangelicals. I am Sara from LeavingFaith, and co-hosting with me is the Bible Guy. Hello, welcome.
Hey everybody, BibleGuy here.
Fantastic. How are you? How's it going?
I'm going good. I'm ready for my vacation, and this is my last stop on the debate scene and for a whole week. So I'm glad that I get to finish off my work week with being here with y'all.
Yeah. Oh, well, I'm so grateful that you came to hang out with us like right before your vacation.
Hopefully we get some nice calls in this week.
Indeed.
Last week was not too bad. Or it's not last week, the week before. It's all the
Yeah.
same to me.
It took us a little while to get some people, but then once we got some people, it was pretty good. We had a good discussion. To everyone listening, we are using a brand new system, which I'm telling you all that because I am therefore using a brand new system. And for anyone who maybe has come to my lives, you all know that I am not a technical wizard in any any sense of the word. So I am just telling you all that because I will do my very best and we'll figure it out and it'll work and it'll be fine.
That's all that we can ever ask for is that we do our best.
That's right. That's what my mom taught me. Thanks, Mom.
If you guys are looking for just good enough, you're welcome to the DEvangelical show. I'm also not a tech person.
Great. Like, yep, we're just good enough. Oh, I like it. I like it.
So everyone make sure you're tapping that screen. Share the live with those you love, with those you hate, with your friends and with your enemies. Tap that screen like Jonathan wanted to tap King David. Tap that screen like the Romans tapped them nails into Jesus.
Oh my God. So if you would like to call in, oh wait, I made this too small, so I can't read this. Hold on, I'm gonna make this bigger. Okay. Lines are open. If you would like to, oh, did I freeze?
You did.
I did. Hang on. I can fix it
At
briefly.
a most unflattering time too.
No.
Oh no.
Wait, I know how to, I just have to turn it off and turn it back on again. But I don't know how to do that. I did know how to. Hang on, guys. I'm gonna do it. I told you already.
If you do it in Zoom, just click the camera and switch it off.
There we go.
So-
I hid the button from myself.
There you go. You're good now.
All right, hooray! Yes. Oh God, did it do it again?
No, well, from what I'm looking at, it looks fine. But maybe it's a couple of minutes.
No,
fine.
it froze again.
Oh well, fuck. Yeah, I'll just copy you until you figure it out.
Come on, buddy. Are we good? I think we're good.
Yeah, now you're back.
Okay. Oh
Nope,
my God.
Frozen again.
Why is it doing this? So listen, while it's frozen, I'm going to tell you, I'll go ahead and call in and the number is on the screen.
And it's not frozen, everyone. Sarah's just a very, very good ventriloquist. She's just showing off right now.
I'm just very still. I don't know why it keeps freezing. Okay. Well, I feel like I need to move slowly, even though I don't know that would have no impact on the actual technology in any way. Okay, so yes, the number is 720-619-2288. I had to like lean in closer to my computer to make sure I was seeing that correctly. Oh, wait, I have glasses.
Right, I often forget. I'm doing the old lady meme from
I know, right? Okay, here we go. Oh,
There we
it
go.
froze again.
Now this live is 50% smarter looking. Love this.
I'm gonna deselect your input and then just select it again.
Okay. Hopefully that works. We'll see. But now I have glasses on. Look at how much smarter we look.
Fantastic. I want to buy myself some new glasses. I want to get some that kind of look like yours, but the frames are like clear, like that, like see-through one. And then someone told me I'd look gay, and I'm like, even more of a reason to get it. Hell yeah.
Okay. Great.
I'm gonna buy them even harder now. Thank you.
Well, we I'm in the kind of Midwest-ish, and there were some big storms that came through yesterday and the day before, and I saw the video that you always end up seeing around tragedies where things get destroyed. And I made a video about it. There is this tornado ripped through a town and it destroyed a school, and it was a Christian school. And in front of the school, there was a cross, like a big, cemented into the ground cross.
Mhm.
And so it made it onto the news, like, wow, the building was destroyed, but the cross remained in place. Isn't that amazing? And I mean, what a commentary on the type of God that would do that. Like what type of God would save the physical statue and let the school and the homes be destroyed? Like, I don't think I would want to give my God credit for that.
It's a testament to his ego, but also we don't like education. That's the official position of heaven, apparently. Down with the school system, down with security and living in your own home. But crosses, A-okay.
Great.
He works in mysterious ways. That's what they say.
Yeah. No, it's one of those things that, like, maybe at very first glance seemed like it was a good thing, but if you think about it for even a minute, it's a bad thing. You don't want to give your God credit for that. Like, what a cruel God to do that.
I don't know. Some people are more than willing to bite the bullet. There's a lot of people I've spoken to, especially recently, who are just like, "Yeah, God's a dick. He can do what he wants. He's all powerful. You can't stop him." And I'm like, "Wow, what a wonderful little outlook on life you got there, bud."
Mm-hmm. I have had those conversations too, where people are freely saying that, yeah, I mean, I worship this God because he's powerful, and what's he going to do to me if I don't worship him? And that's
a nice soul you got there. Be afraid if someone were to burn it for eternity. Yeah. That's exactly right.
Yes, exactly. Then of course we throw out morality and justice entirely, but that's perhaps a different conversation.
Let's see. Someone said God works in mysterious gays. Love that.
Nice.
Big W to that.
I just have the one screen, so I'm trying to like move our Zoom and then so I can see the comments too, and I'm very bad at it.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. When I first got started doing this, Justin was like, "You're gonna need more than one screen." I'm like, "I'll be fine." Turns out even two screens, and I got like these 21 by 9-inch screens. Two screens still not enough.
Oh my God.
I need a whole Batman setup in order to do this.
Nope, I have my little laptop. This is what I do, just on my little laptop.
A Heart on Fire says atheists have no morality. Well, if you think that, why don't you call on up and we'll have a little convo about that.
You are welcome to call in. That person has made some angry videos about me.
This individual specifically?
Mm-hmm.
How flattering. I love it when people make hate videos about me. Yeah, it just means I'm all they think about. It's lovely. Very flattering.
Yeah, I don't know why he wouldn't want to call in.
Yeah, no. I don't know about you. I don't have a lot of people who make videos about me, but when I do, they're always like the most unhinged ones. I had a guy claim that I believe we came from gorillas. Never once said that. R.I.P. Harambe. But no, we didn't come from gorillas, and that's the official Bible guy position, everyone. Heartfire won't call in. Christians are basically cowards, like all bullies. Well, Heartfire, you've been called out. So it's high noon. You've been called out. Come up for a duel. We'll have a good time. We'll have a few laughs. Maybe you'll convert me and Sara to Christianity. Who knows?
It's possible.
I can't imagine how anyone would be angry with Sara. I know. Who could possibly be angry with Sara? Obsessed, I understand. Maybe Heart of Fire is just obsessed, but angry doesn't make any sense.
You know what's really funny is when I do my TikTok lives, the prompt that garners the most ire from Christians is when I say finding peace without God. And that's it. That's the whole prompt. I'm just, hey, this is for people who want to find peace without God. And that's where I get the most hate and vitriol in response to.
I know your lives are some of the most chill and respectful lives out here in the deconstruction community, especially compared to me. Like, listen, I've been getting a little bit testy lately. And then, like, anyone could be mad at Sara for being like, you don't deserve to be tortured forever. And then just like, how dare you? I so
know.
do. Bunch of sadists out here.
Yeah, I had someone tell me today in a comment that when they get to preside over my judgment, they are going to tell God everything I've been doing, and it's not going to go well for me.
That's such a weird fantasy. I've had a few Christians say to me that, you know, that they will be laughing watching me burn for eternity. So apparently that's what heaven is all about, is like laughing at people who are being actively tortured. What do you think is going on there, psychologically?
I mean, I think part of it is dehumanization. And part of it is self-righteous indignation. And I think they view us as putting them down or harming them. And so they want to get their vengeance on us for making them feel a certain way.
Look at this. We got someone in the screening right now. That's fantastic. Lovely. That is just hate. Yeah, even like I remember the first time I ever came in contact with this, like, because when I was Catholic, I was really big into Thomas Aquinas. But even I
sure.
was, and I was like a Thomas Aquinas fanboy. In fact, he was the confirmation saint that I was confirmed under, and I was kind of appalled when I read in his works that he thought that the joy that people would find in heaven would be in the suffering of the wicked.
Yeesh.
To all the people asking right now, no, there isn't a horizontal stream.
I'm sorry.
There's nothing wrong with watching us vertically, everyone. You can still see our beautiful, beautiful faces, and can still hear our points, and so that should be more than enough for you. But if you really want a horizontal stream, let us know through super chats. That's the best way to ensure that something comes of it.
I think we're about to have a caller in just a minute. Also, hopefully I don't like accidentally hang up on this person with this new system. But should be good.
As long as you don't hit the big red sign that says hang up, I think we should be good. I think you're underselling yourself a little bit here.
Listen, it's much better to undersell yourself and have people be pleasantly surprised than the reverse.
Love that. In my view, there's no reason atheists should have peace in this world. If you ever get around to writing a book, that would be a great title, by the way. What was it? Finding Peace Without God.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to be the name of Sara's book, everyone. Just keep an eye out on Amazon for that.
Oops. Okay. I think now I can hit answer. Let's see what happens when I hit answer. Hello?
Hello.
Oh, hi. How's it going?
Going well. Hope you guys are doing well too.
Yeah, thanks. I'm so glad I'm able to hear you. I was nervous, but yay.
Big W to us here today.
Well, what can we do for you?
Well, I appreciate that I get to speak to both of you, have a lot of respect, and also a lot of love for bunnies. Bunnies are awesome. And with that, I believe both of you understand the importance of research, but I'll give you my quick thing, and I want to hear you guys' thoughts. I basically called into Inspiring Philosophy, and I talked to Than, and he was telling me, oh, there's journals that go over miracles. Well, I think what a lot of people don't get is that there's different qualities of journals. There's, New England Journal of Medicine, there's Nature, there's top tier journals that are very hard to publish in. Like they reject 98% of what goes towards them. And these are top tier scholars trying to publish. The journal that Than, he's not here to defend himself, suggested to me about miracles and healing, basically has papers on like speaking to water and all these different weird, interesting, miraculous things. And so my point is, and I want to hear you guys speak on this, I think a lot of times I hear non-believers say, oh, show me the scientific peer-reviewed research. But peer review is only as good as the peers who review it. And there's a lot of bad journals out there. So I think people, especially in our community, need to understand just asking for peer review is not enough. You then have to go read the paper and look at the quality of the journals.
Yeah, so this is forgive me for getting a little in the weeds here. The short, yeah, I agree. There are very, very prestigious journals and much less so. And then there also exist predatory journals, which are basically pay to play kind of journals. And the hard thing is that it takes a lot of nuance and knowledge of the field often to really determine, is this a good journal or not? So if it's a field you're familiar with, you should be able to look up their statistics. Most journals have something called an impact factor, which is basically a measure of how many other people are citing what's published in this journal. So if you're publishing good, important stuff, then other researchers are going to cite you. So that's one thing to look at. You could certainly look at the editorial board of a journal to see who's actually on this editorial board. But I agree nothing takes the place of actually reading the methods section for yourself and then reading the results to actually see, have they done sound research? But again, that is a level of specialized knowledge that I wouldn't expect the majority of people to have, especially if, now you're trying to sort through like, hey, here's a paper in theology versus here's a paper in neuroscience. No one person is going to know all these different fields. So it is difficult to navigate for sure.
And I'm really glad you brought up impact factor. I also want to bring up, and you probably know, the H index of the individual, which very briefly, an H index is how often the person has had papers cited. So if you have 100 papers that have one citation, you'd have an H index of 1. To get an H index of 100, you have to have 100 papers with 100 citations, as in at least 100 papers that have 100 citations. So but then you have to watch out for researchers who basically start citing themselves or get a pool of each other. It's a mess once you get into it and understand the peer review process. And I think too many times I hear the summarization from non-believers as, oh, just give me the peer-reviewed research. Well, that's one step in the process and the next step. And thank you, Sarah. I appreciate your thoughts. And I think this is, hopefully people will learn. And like you said, it's a bit in the weeds.
Yeah, I mean, the difficulty is, now you need to have a background in research methods. You need to have a background in statistical analysis. And then, if we're getting into things like theology and philosophy, now there's different types of analysis that aren't covered in quantitative work. And so you have to understand qualitative analysis and historical analysis, and it's a lot. And so I do think, hitting that bottom bar of at least having it be published in a peer-reviewed journal. I froze again. I'm going to keep. Oh, no, we're good. Is at least a good minimum bar to set. And I don't know that it's realistic to expect anyone to be able to differentiate all those nuances once we actually get into it.
Well, I'll let you guys get to some other callers, but I look forward to the ethnography on bunny communities or atheists, either or. I'll look forward to it. But thank you guys for taking my call.
Yeah, of course. Oh, wait, I have to press a button now.
Yeah, that was definitely a Sara question because I wouldn't be able to tell you much in that. I report on the scholarship, but I don't make it. And I wouldn't even tell you. I know which ones are the reputable sources for like biblical studies, like the Journal for Biblical Literature and whatnot. But like, I wouldn't be able to, tell you like the actual methods for being able to. If someone presented a new journal to me, I wouldn't be able to tell you unless I just sat down and read the literature.
Right. And it is really like, I appreciate the genuine difficulty of that, like I'm very familiar with what good journals would be in my field, but I don't know what good journals would be in fields that are really different from mine. So it's tough. I wish I could teach a research methods class to everyone, so that we would all have at least the basic tools to evaluate the methodology. Because I think that really would be helpful.
Well, maybe there's listen, everyone. Everyone should. I always check. I like to plug this like little thing. It's like Netflix for smart people. It's called the I'm blanking all of a sudden. The master classes? No, they're not called master classes. You know what? I'll get back to you on that once I remember. Blinking all of a sudden. Look at that. Fantastic television this is.
Maybe I have heard of a thing called master classes.
The Great Courses Plus.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, if you want to be a bit more familiar with almost any subject, whether it's science, literature, or religion, languages, the Great Courses Plus is like free educate. It's like not free because you have to pay a subscription every month. But once you pay the subscription every month, you get like this limitless supply of great courses on all these different topics that are it's from actual professionals in these respective fields. So who knows? Maybe there's something about research methods on there. I'd have to take a look at that.
There probably is. Yeah.
Let's see. Still no Heartfire. Still hasn't called in.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be surprised. There's a lot of chirpers. This is true for TikTok especially. Like a lot of people who love to sit in the comment section and write, but they do not necessarily like to call in because it's a lot more difficult to defend your faith when you can't actively chat GPT your answers.
Well, if you're fast, you can.
Yeah, but then you can hear it in their voice whenever they're reading. That's the thing is that they don't realize that you can totally tell when they're reading something by the change in their voice.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, it is genuinely difficult to do this sort of on the spot. We have an advantage that we do this all the time. And so we rarely get questions that surprise us. But I think, coming up here, if you've never done this before, it is hard in the moment, I think, to think of good answers. Like I have discussions with my dad sometimes, and my dad is he's Anglican, and so he's still but very devout. And he loves to have intellectual discussions, and we'll get somewhere in the discussion. He's like, wait, I don't know. Give me like a week and I'll get back to you. Because it's hard to like process it all in the moment.
That's at least a very intellectually smart thing to say is, you know what? I don't know. Let me get back to you on that. I'm thinking about so I do a lot of debates throughout the week, but I'm thinking about taking a step back and only doing debates a couple times a week, but also putting out more educational videos on biblical scholarship. Because I did that once and people seem to like it. So, I'm thinking about I need to pour my efforts into something like that and do more education. because the debates are causing me to lose decades off my life.
Having perhaps an effect on your blood pressure.
That might be the case. I always know when it's time to take a break when I start getting extra mean to my callers.
Yeah. I get that. It is hard. I only do it once a week. I don't think I could do it more frequently than that for sure.
Heart on Fire says, I'm just not interested in debating. I don't see the point. I mean, the point would be to, if you have good arguments at least, to change mine and Sarah's mind, or someone in the audience's. Like, I'm not impervious to having my mind changed. In fact, I think me and Sarah are both here because we've had our minds changed by information. So,
well, and it doesn't make sense like why he would spend time in our chat. Like, why are you putting comments in the chat then? Or why make videos about us? I'm not sure what this person's goal is in general.
Yeah, yapping without any sort of way of like having yourself called out in the moment, for sure.
Well, if anyone does want to come up and chat, please do call. We have the phone number in the middle of your screen, 720-619-2288.
All right, do you know Jovan Bradley?
Only like briefly, like a little bit, but not a lot.
He's doing this thing now where I think once a month he's going to have like a speaker do a presentation on his Discord, and people like pay to participate, not to participate as in the people speaking, but the people who want to watch the speakers and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And, maybe you could talk to him about doing a presentation on research methods.
Oh, that would be fun.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, and for anyone who is a patron of the line, once a month or twice a month, they do Line Con, which is several of us just give presentations on things that we're interested in. So like last time, I did a presentation on the effects of religion on the nervous system, and it was super fun. So if you like that kind of content, definitely also be a patron of the line, and you get those. I forget if it's once or twice a month, but yes,
they're trying to do it twice a month. Yeah, usually once. I think they're trying to do it twice now, at least for the upcoming one, is what the forum said. I mean, I would like to do that in the future. I just opted out this time because I don't have anything planned. I'd have to like plan a lot in advance.
Yeah.
The Bible is reliable to deconvert Christians. The problem is that you actually have to read it. That is the truth. Listen, the pathway towards deconversion from Christianity is littered with well-read Bibles.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, you go ahead.
There's this Christian TikToker that comes across my feed sometimes, and he was making the argument that Christians should not learn too much because seminary is often called the faith cemetery because of how many people deconstruct their faith when they learn all this information. And he, instead of saying, wow, that's really interesting, he said basically like, look, I mean, you can learn some things, but facts aren't really important. What's really important is your relationship with God. And I thought, oh no.
I bet there's some sort of study out there, but I can only imagine how detrimental to Christianity and faith in general the internet has been. The fact that more people than ever have a lot of access to knowledge.
Yep.
Especially with shows like this where, you used to probably I wasn't around in the 90s. Barely I was around.
Okay, young buck.
But I can imagine how hard it was to get access to content like this.
Way back in the 1900s when us old farts were in school.
Listen, I was around in the 90s, but I was still being changed, is what it was. But you had to go out of your way just to get any content like this. I'm pretty sure the ACA was on TV or something like that, but with
Oh yeah, no, you
TikTok
couldn't
and
find it. It's true.
yeah, and now it's a lot easier now. I had to access to information. Yeah, Christianity thrives on the ignorance of its populace to keep people in line, and of course that TikToker says, listen, knowledge is it's literally built in the book of Genesis. Knowledge is no bueno.
Yeah, no, you're right though. It was really difficult. I remember when the internet was invented.
A fart on fire says yes, but that doesn't bother me. So they're basically confirming that that knowledge is the enemy of the faith.
Oh man, that's unfortunate. Okay.
That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, because literally, I was a young Earth believer. I was like one of those evangelicals. I was young Earther, and I remember I was lying in bed one night, and people were starting to bring up flat Earth stuff to me, and so just all the Christians out there who the Bible is pro flat Earth, and if you think the Earth isn't flat, you're disagreeing with the Bible, and maybe you should wake up to reality. But anyways, I thought the Earth was 6,000 years old. I wasn't willing to go all the way to flat Earth though, but I remembered learning in school that light had a speed. And if light had a speed, the question for me I had to ask myself was, what's the farthest star that we can see with the naked eye? And I had Google at my disposal. And the answer was a star called, a sexy name, V762 Cas in the Cassiopeia system. And it was 16,000 light years away, which means I was off by at least 10,000 years. And that's what started my deconstruction.
Wow, what an interesting first domino to fall.
Yeah, you think all the flat earthers, you turned me into an atheist.
Oh man. Yeah, when I was people ask me a lot, well, when did you deconstruct? When did you stop believing? And for me it was 2009. And even, it's long ago, but not that long ago, but even then, basically the only social media people were using was Facebook, and then, maybe a few other things a little bit. YouTube was there, but nothing like this. And it was so difficult. Like people couldn't find community. You couldn't find places to just talk to people about this. And I do think, that now spaces like this exist. It has a huge effect.
It is wild. So for example, there's a few people in the deconstruction community that we're all deconstruction people, but also we all have VR headsets. So now we're all playing together online on VR. Like that would not have been possible a few decades ago. And we're very lucky that we get to live at a time when you get to have atheist community and just deconstruction community all together.
Yeah, I agree. It's so hard to find. And so like if you live in the US, there are so many places where you can live in which you might not know a single other like openly atheist person. I'm sure you might know people who are atheists, but not like actually out loud openly atheist. And so I think it is really important for us to be able to have internet communities because we can't really find it another way.
Well, especially where I live. I live in a very rural area of Northeast Texas, and there's a church on every other corner. Makes it very difficult to find anyone who's like-minded in this area. So my online community is my community. Oh, looks like we got a caller.
Yay. Okay. We have a caller. This is John. Let's see. Oh, John, are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Hi. Yes, we can hear you. How's it going?
It's going okay. How about y'all?
Good. What can we do for you?
Well, what I hope is a fairly quick question. I'm an atheist, fully deconstructed. Very briefly, what's going on is I was a minister for quite a few years in my 20s and 30s. and started deconstructing about halfway through the 90s. It tells you how old I am. And was fully deconstructed by like the mid-aughts. And I'm thinking about trying to get into the creator space for deconstruction, but I have no idea if my experience or what bit of knowledge I have is going to be even useful to people. I mean, I look at you and people like Justin and Matt and Dylan, and I'm like, you guys have what seems to be really, if not specialized, very much you have a niche to fit into. I'm not sure how to determine if I do, and if I do, what it is. And there's so much of a glut of creators in so many places. I just want to make sure if I decide to take this on that it's worth everybody else's time, including mine. I didn't know if y'all could give me some insights, because I don't like the idea of trying to call in and ask questions like this when people are talking to theists or people who are speaking on a particular subject, because obviously this is very general.
I will say that, listen, when I first got started, I wasn't sure about doing the work that I do because I didn't think I had anything to offer for the community. But look, here's the thing. Every single person has something to offer. Every person has a unique perspective and outlook on deconstructing. And I would say that, listen, you can at least give it a try for a while and see how you, whether or not you enjoy it, whether or not you find that you're doing the kind of work that you would like to do, and just like do a little leap and just give it a try, bud.
And I think
Okay.
the
Well,
easiest
that makes
way the easiest way to get started, honestly, is TikTok, because the sort of production expectations are so low. That's the only reason I was able to get started in this, because figuring out all the stuff that has to go into YouTube is a lot more intimidating. But I had someone maybe 6 months ago give me a call to get some help. And he was also a former pastor at a mega church. And, I told him, like, hey, man, people want the inside scoop. People are really interested in what that was like for you. And the advice I gave him was, just point and shoot and talk into your phone. And when you're getting started, TikTok is so easy. Like, you can just look at your phone and say what you want to say and press send, and you're done. And so the effort level when you're first getting started can be really low. Like, you can just see, do I like this? Is this resonating with people? Do I enjoy these conversations? And so then it's a nice kind of low stakes way to get started.
That's how I got my start.
So, I'm sorry, what were you saying, Dylan?
I'm just confirming what Sarah said. That's how I got my start. TikTok.
Okay. Well, I know that I've heard, pretty sure it was Justin saying that he kind of started by putting out shorts as opposed to trying to debate. That seems like a pretty good idea. What's your take on that?
Absolutely. Put out short content on YouTube and TikTok. Get a community built up around your platform, and then from there, start going live. And yeah, it's a very good way of easing your way into it.
For sure.
Okay. Any recommendations on how to deal with the algorithm?
I am not the person to ask. I just make whatever I want and just hope that it sticks.
I mean, the basic advice is if you're on TikTok, you want to say something that people are interested in the first few seconds. And then truly, like, talk to your phone the way you would talk to a friend. And talk about the things you like to talk about, and then you can see what people respond to, and you can go from there.
Okay. Yeah, that all makes sense. Okay. Well, that's really all I wanted, just to get a bit of insight from people who are doing it. So I will let y'all get back to your show, and thank you so much for your input.
Yeah, you're so welcome.
Good luck, John.
Yeah. Y'all have a good day.
You too.
All right, bye.
I always love to see up and coming budding creators. We need more more voices, and that's the other thing. More voices is always better because it's more exposure to more people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think there's actually a very diverse group of people who have deconstructed, and the more voices, the better, because then people get to see the diversity of our experiences and our stories. Yeah, absolutely.
This is an interesting comment. I kind of want this person to call in just because it'd be something crazy to talk about. So basically, the Bible is not reliable, but taken with a grain of salt, it is a resource for understanding how intertwined it is with ETs and UFOs from the ancient primitive perspective. Have you ever heard of this thing called ancient astronaut theory?
No.
You never watched the show Ancient Aliens before?
I mean, that's the thing with the guy whose hair keeps getting crazier, right?
Yeah, his hair. He does it on purpose now, totally. But yeah, they basically think that all the ancient gods were just aliens, and it's basically built upon arguments from ignorance. Like, I don't know how this thing could possibly be, therefore aliens.
Okay.
And a lot of, really honestly, anytime it's like a brown person who's made a really great architecture, aliens. If it was a white person, wow, look how awesome humans are. That's basically sums up ancient astronaut theory.
Huh. Okay. Well, yeah, that's not a lot of help and not very different from just saying God did it.
Yeah, it's a modern day mythology. What better way to spend the Sabbath than learning about the Bible? That's right, it is the Sabbath. And what are all you heathens doing on the internet? That's breaking the Sabbath.
Don't do that.
I used to be so between my time, so I used to practice Christianity, and then I practiced Judaism, and then I left solely for atheism. And in that in between state between Judaism and Christianity, I was a Christian who was starting to observe the Sabbath. It's a lot more difficult than what people understand, because in Judaism, it's not just about not going to work on Saturday. There are many casual everyday practices that are considered work, and you're not allowed to do on the Sabbath. Like, even something as simple as flipping a light switch is not permitted on the Sabbath.
I've heard of like then specific apartments and buildings and companies that are designed so that you can make a phone call without having to push a button, or stuff like that.
There are phones that are constantly pushing buttons, and then you push on this thing so that it doesn't push buttons, and it's very complicated, but basically trying to loophole God.
Right. Yeah, that's what always struck me as like, what? Well, I mean, cool engineering, but seems to be missing the point, maybe.
Modern solutions for ancient problems. Yeah, there are pre-torn toilet paper as well. Elevators that just go up and down all day and stop at every floor. That way no one has to push any of the buttons. And the rationale between the whole electricity thing is that it says in the Torah, you're not allowed to light a fire on the Sabbath. And the rabbis determined that the electrical spark was sufficient enough to be considered lighting a fire on the Sabbath. So lighting a switch is lighting a fire.
Wow. I mean, perhaps there's also an argument to be made for being, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, it seems to be missing the point if you're using loopholes, but then also perhaps your rules have missed the point as well. Like creating all these rules and following the letter of the law, but completely missing the spirit of the law, sort of thing.
It's very reminiscent of in Jehovah's Witnesses. There's a commandment in the Torah says not to consume blood, and then they've taken it even further to where you're not even allowed to get blood transfusions. It's a very similar situation. Now, not all Jewish people follow this.
Yeah.
There is a certain sect of Jews. They're kind of like the Protestants of Judaism. They're called Karaites. So they only believe in the Hebrew Bible, and they reject all rabbinic authority. And they will do things like turn light switches on the Sabbath because they don't consider that to be what the Torah plainly states is not building a fire on the Sabbath, stuff like that.
Wow, that super is like the Protestants of Judaism. Ha!
Yeah, they will eat milk and meat together because the Torah doesn't prohibit that. They do, and they don't wear yarmulkes. They are basically Protestants of Judaism. They're very small sect, mostly small groups in Egypt and San Francisco of all places.
Okay. Wow. I learned something new today.
Let's see.
If anyone wants to call in and talk, please feel free. 720-619-2288. We would love to chat with you.
Are we doing super chats at the end of the show or intermittently?
The idea, I think, is to do them at the end of the show, but since we don't have any callers at the moment, I mean, I think it's okay to read them now.
All right. Well, we got one here from Gentleman Viking. Is it supposed to show up on the screen?
Yeah.
There it is.
Oh, cool.
From @Gentleman Viking with the $2. My favorite Jewish god loophole is the Eruv. Now, it says in the Torah you're not allowed to leave your place on the Sabbath, and it's kind of unknown what that means. But in later Judaism, they created these basically these like borders for a community. It says you are not allowed. You can travel freely within the community. Leaving your place means, you can't leave this like predetermined structure like this. And sometimes people move those lines so that they're not breaking the commandment.
Uh-huh. Is this like your city or more like your house and your 3 neighbors?
Yeah, it's local community, like enough for like a lot of Jewish people in the community to all go to the synagogue and walk to synagogue on the Sabbath.
Got it.
They don't want to call in because you two know too much about the Bible. Maybe I feel like recently there's been a sort of I don't know how it's been for you, a lack of callers that have been calling in recently.
It is different on TikTok, I will say. I do get a lot of people who want to come into my live on TikTok, and I don't know what the difference is. I don't know why my TikTok makes so many people angry, but it does.
I don't get it either. You're far too nice, and you're telling them that they deserve to be treated better, and that pisses them off.
I don't yell at anybody ever.
Man, yeah. Listen, I get it when people are going to be mad at me. I say a lot of mean things on my TikTok to people. But Sarah's nice, y'all. Leave her alone. Be nice to
her. We're not scary. You can call in. It's fine.
Yes, and because Sarah's here, I'm a lot more mellowed out. So I won't bite y'all's heads off. I promise I'll be a good boy. Call in. We'll have a nice cordial conversation.
Oh,
what is this about? I didn't know this was a religious service.
I don't know.
I didn't know this was a religious service. I thought atheists were free thinkers who welcome discussion.
Yeah, call in and discuss.
Call in. I would love to have you. I would love to have a discussion with you. Absolutely. I think people are just maybe people are calling them out in the comment section for not calling in and stuff. Maybe that's what it is.
Well, that could do it.
Okay, we have here another super chat, I guess, from @Joshua Everett with the $5 saying, I'm still very happy to have a Saturday show. Dalton and Sara are also both very awesome as hosts.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Joshua. Much appreciated. That. We're trying. Every day we try. And that's all we can ask for is to just do the bare minimum.
Just do your best and let God do the rest. Did you ever hear that as a kid?
No, I didn't hear. I heard all kinds of. There's lots of little crazy sayings that we used to say when we were younger, but just do what was that? Do your best and let God do the rest.
Uh-huh.
We
Yep.
just quoted what's her name, Katie Underwood, Carrie Underwood. Jesus take the wheel.
Oh, I think I might be remembering this incorrectly. You're probably too young for Salty the Singing Songbook, I'm guessing.
No, I know who Salty is.
Oh, okay. It might be from Salty.
I didn't watch it, but I've seen plenty of people react to it, and my God, what a nightmare.
So I'm this old that we had it on cassette tape. And so like we would play the cassette tapes, and I still remember some of those songs. Like we had the cassette tapes, and then we had the like picture books. So yes, I'm very familiar with Salty the Singing Songbook.
in my head, when I close my eyes, I picture Salty. I picture that nightmare of the church mice singing. It was
where they have oh no, that's a book. Like my brain is mush. But there's one with the giant organ, and they put vegetables in the organ. Do they make a cartoon of that?
I don't know. It's all a fever dream, to be honest. And they never really put the effort into these shows, to the costumes. It was always just the most terrifying thing, and I'm pretty sure blue people don't exist, but I feel offended for Salty doing blueface.
Well, I never saw like the live action show. I only saw it as like a cartoon in the books, and then listened to the cassette tape.
Oh, have you never seen the live action stuff?
No.
It's terrifying. That's exactly what I'm referring to. Salty, there's a live action Salty show, and it is the stuff of nightmares.
Wow. Nope, I only listened to it. There's a song that it will come to me at some point, and it has like a common phrase in it. And so in my just life, anytime I hear that common phrase, I sing this song, and I'm like, oh God, Salty got me again.
Yeah, I think the shows that I was growing up on were a bit more less cringy, more developed, but not all of them. Some of them were still cringy. Bible Man was cringy. He's basically, okay, imagine Batman if he was lame, and also had a lightsaber, because you have to have cool things like that to make kids. Yeah, he had a yellow lightsaber.
Was it his sword of truth?
The sword of truth. Yeah, and he had a sidekick at one point in an AI in a bat cave. And
did he have a helmet of salvation and a shield of, what's the shield?
Shield of faith?
Maybe Shield of Faith?
I don't remember.
Breastplate of righteousness?
I just know I had the Bible guy mask and lightsaber as a kid. And he would often fight villains. The purpose of these villains would do things like, oh, this villain is causing all the kids in the neighborhood to get depressed. So just not a very healthy outlook on depression this show had. This villain is helping kids cheat on their math homework. And he would fight them by yelling Bible verses at them and praying and hitting them with a lightsaber.
Oh my God.
Yeah. But I thought he was cool as hell as a kid. I had Spider-Man and Bible Man in the household. Man. Also Larry Boy, who was
the VeggieTale
superhero. It's Larry the Cucumber, who had like a purple helmet with like suction cup suction cup plungers on the side of his head.
Oh.
And I thought, this is so lame of me, but I thought Larry Boy was so cool when I was a kid. I remember going to Home Depot and seeing these tiny plungers and going, I could make a Larry Boy outfit. I could totally do it. Yeah. But you know what? It is what it is. And that's sort of related to Nick M with the $2 saying Bible Man versus Larry Boy, who wins? And that's a good question. Well, Bible Man's got a lightsaber.
Right, like Larry in general wasn't too competent, so I feel like my money would be on Bible Man.
Also, he is the size of a cucumber, so that that probably doesn't help. Lightsaber versus vegetable. I'm gonna go with Bible Man on this.
But I mean, he did defeat Goliath.
Did he?
Well, Larry the cucumber as David defeated Goliath.
I think those are technically two different. I'm gonna say it's a multiverse of Larrys, and that's two different Larrys. But he did fight. I know there's an episode of Larry the Cucumber where there's this purple vegetable that it's a lie, and every time someone would tell a lie, it would get bigger and bigger until it was like a giant monster.
I vaguely remember that. Wow, I haven't thought about that in a long time.
People often mistakenly call me Bible Man, and I don't like it. I'm the Bible guy, but Bible guy does sound like Bible Man's lame ass sidekick. I do get that. I think I once made Justin laugh really hard because there was this Christian, he was being really he was just an idiot, but he was telling me we were talking about cannibalism, and he goes, I don't know what you mean, and then I'm like, well, cannibalism, and I started explaining cannibalism because I was being snarky. He goes, okay, Bible Man, I know what I said, hey, Bible Man is my father. And Justin lost his shit.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, Bible Boy is more accurate. Yeah, Bible Boy, if I ever get an assistant, I will start calling them that. If I ever get married and she's knowledgeable on the Bible, she will be Bible Gal, and we'll make Bible babies. And live a very happy Bible life. Wait, no, this is getting out of hand. Never mind. Scratch that. Rewind. Yeah, but what else did we watch as a kid? I mean, I think the rest of the stuff we watched was actually pretty decent. Prince of Egypt is actually a good movie. Like, even as a non-believer, I still enjoy that.
Justin doesn't like it.
Justin doesn't like the Prince of Egypt? Justin, I know you're watching because I saw your comments earlier. We're gonna have words now.
Right. I had talked to him when we were going through Exodus on our Bible study podcast, and I was saying how cinematic this narrative is, and I mentioned the Prince of Egypt, and at the time he hadn't seen it, and then he watched it and said he didn't like it. He doesn't even like the music.
Everyone put L Justin in the comment section. That's the most. The cast alone was so stacked, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. Looks like we have someone.
Oh, we do.
Who's ready
Yay.
to come up.
Okay, I'm gonna press the button. Okay. Wait, did I press the button? Pressing the button. Hello?
Hello.
Hi, Jeremy. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
Good, thanks. What can we do for you?
I'm a friendly. I just wanted to call in, give you guys something to chat about. It's kind of based on my deconstruction story, but I've had this thought for a while now. I was going to Baylor. I've talked to Justin about this too. I was going to Baylor back in 2005, and the thing that got me to deconstruct was taking a course on biblical scriptures. It was required at Baylor for every student to take one. And we did an in-depth study, and the more I read, the more questions I had. And I had this really great professor who was open to dialogue and discussion and would just kind of go over all the problems we ran into, really similar to what Justin does. And I feel like, I don't know how this would work because it's still active religion, but I feel like teaching biblical studies in literature classes would have a benefit, because it's just like when you teach mythology, Greek mythology, Norse mythology. There are people who still technically worship those things too, although in much fewer numbers. But I feel like there would be a benefit to it because it would allow people to get that in-depth study and run into those issues and have the dialogues and the discourse. And I just wanted to get you guys' thoughts on that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's interesting when, the laws passed about having the 10 Commandments in classrooms. There was multiple people saying, you don't want me to teach biblical studies in the classroom because it is going to show people what's really in there. And I do think there is an argument to be made for like, okay, here's what's in there. Like, let's actually look at this. Because as Dalton was saying just a few minutes ago, one of the fastest ways for people to deconstruct is just to read the whole thing.
Yeah, the sad thing is,
Yeah,
like, listen, I went to school in Northeast Texas. I had an elective of both Old and New Testament classes in my public school. And I know for a fact that the way that teachers in those classes are teaching the Bible is not from a critical academic perspective, but purely based on, this is basically like Christian Bible study in a public school.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's the problem. See, we ran into, I'm in Texas too, but I'm in a bigger city than Dalton is. And we recently had the legislation, and I don't know what the status of it now is, but Dalton, you're probably aware of this, where they were trying to make it required for students to get Bible study in school here. And my stance on it was, look, I obviously don't think you should force any religion to students. But if they want to make kids or give an elective for Bible study, that's fine. It just needs to be scholarly taught. It needs to be, taught by somebody who's got real credentials from a real university or a real seminary that says, okay, let's read this critically and look at it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there is a benefit to that. Whereas if it's just apologetics 101, then obviously that's dangerous as hell.
Yeah, I mean, the hard thing is if you teach a course that is openly sort of academic look at the Bible, then you will probably get a response from a section of Christians viewing that as hostile. And so they will go in saying, my evil Bible teacher hates God and hates the Bible and is trying to convert me. So I'm going to go in and use my apologetics in my Bible class to try and convert the teacher, like those sort of over the top movies about teaching evolution. Like, I wonder if you'd have kind of a similar effect.
The one Forrest responds to.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Like, man, these classes are so underregulated to the point where I, as a student in the class, was my teacher's assistant and would often take over talking about Bible while my teacher just did the grading for the papers and stuff like that. Like, that's how underregulated these Bible classes are in these public school systems.
Oh, I don't disagree at all. I had a similar experience with my programming class in high school. So I had to help teach the class about a third of the way through it.
Texas education at its finest. If teachers could receive some sort of regulated sort of courses where with certain talking points, that they would have to study up on before giving the class, it would probably go a lot more better. But there's probably a way of doing it without sounding, to the best of our ability, anti-religious, like just presenting as many facts as one can. It's a very difficult job. I think it might be a more difficult job than the teacher who has to teach evolution, because at least then you're expecting it. But from the people would probably take Old and New Testament class expecting to get religious ideas brought to them, and then start talking about how Yahweh was an ancient war deity and that was brought into the ancient polytheistic Canaanite pantheon, and it would probably rub people a bit the wrong way.
Yeah, I think it would be.
I think you're right.
Yeah, potentially dangerous for those teachers to do that. If not physically dangerous for them losing their job.
Yeah, good luck to that person.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Yeah, I think I got pretty lucky with the one I took at Baylor, because the professor there, who I won't throw their name out there, but he was very open to dialogue. He often came to me after class and thanked me for having like real discourse, because a lot of the people in the class were just trying to throw out apologetics. And I came in with day one, I was already questioning things. And I had serious questions about free will and questions about, did the pen holders have, did they put in their own biases when they wrote the book and all these different things? And he was really into it. And it wasn't what I expected in a class on Christian scripture at a Christian school. And so I feel like I probably got very lucky with a really good professor there.
I
That
mean,
was
I
also
also
the
think,
year that I'm sorry, go ahead, Sarah.
taking a world religions or comparative religions can be also really beneficial. And I think a very cool class to take would be to look at multiple ancient scriptures, to be able to do sort of a comparative analysis from here's the Bible, here's the Torah, here's the Quran, maybe the Vedas, and see the similarities. I think that could be really powerful.
Comparative
that would be
religion course
really cool, actually.
or ancient Near Eastern religions would be dope.
Yeah, that
That's
would
just
be
me as a
super
Bible nerd
interesting.
saying that.
And it would be, I think it would be easier to make that critical too, where it's like we're just comparing all of the Near Eastern religions. That would be interesting. Is it okay if I share an interesting story about my deconstruction at Baylor real quick?
Yeah, sure. Go for it.
So I went to Baylor in 2005. So sorry, Dalton, you're young. While I was there my freshman year, I was starting to question. I was in that class taking Christian scriptures. I was in the process of deconstructing. And then the church that me and my roommate went to, there was a pastor there named Pastor Kyle. He was young and everybody loved him. He had the band play modern music like Muse and stuff like that. He was doing a baptism. And while standing in the baptismal waters, there was a malfunction with there was like a frayed cord or frayed cable on the mic setup, and it caused an electrocution of the water while he was standing in it. And so in front of the congregation, 800 people, he just started screaming and then died in front of all of us.
Oh my God.
And it was something that, it was, you can look this up. I'm not lying. His name was Pastor Kyle. It was at a church near Baylor in Waco. This happened in 2005. There's news articles all about it.
The
baptized
individual died?
He was by himself in the waters. He was about to do the baptism when the malfunction happened. So it was just him.
The pastor.
But the pastor Kyle. And and so it was a very jarring, like ingrained into my brain memory for the remainder of my life that really kind of struck me. It's like, wow, this is one of his own, that this happened in front of all these witnesses. It seems like if this dude were real, he probably would have done something to stop this or fix this. Like, this was a pretty damning moment for the religion to me.
That's horrible, but sounds like something you would expect from a comedy skit.
Crazy.
It's insane. I can only imagine what the congregation as a whole must have been thinking, that the pastor is literally killed in his own baptismal pool is wild.
Well, the reason it was so jarring is because he was a practical joker. He loved to do crazy things with the congregation. So for the first 10 seconds, everybody thought he was joking.
Oh.
And then after a couple seconds, they started to realize, oh no, something's wrong. And that was when it really kind of dawned on us. And then shortly afterward, it was too late. It was pretty crazy. I served in the military. I fought in the Iraq War. That's still one of the crazier things that's ever happened.
That's horrible. Oh my God.
I feel bad for laughing. I feel so bad.
Get it together up there, man.
I mean, how horrible this is horrible. I'm with Sarah on this. But yeah, that is crazy.
No, you're fine. I'm a big fan of gallows humor. Like I said, I served in the Iraq War. Gallows humor is how you get through it. So you're not offending me in any way. But I thought that was an interesting story. I thought you guys might not like to hear it, but might be fascinated by it.
Someone is saying there that it's on Wikipedia. This happening is crazy.
Yep. Yeah, there was a whole page about it.
Okay, well, I will now remember that for the rest of my life as well.
I'm going to be reading
You
about
are
that
welcome.
more later.
Well, we appreciate you coming in, Jeremy, and sharing a story that I will not ever forget.
You're very welcome. Yeah, thanks, guys. I appreciate everything you guys do. I watch both of you and Justin religiously. Pun
Oh, well,
intended.
thank you.
So,
Thank you, my child.
Have a great
see you on Monday.
night.
Bye.
Yeah, I would have been 9 years old when that happened. I am a youngling compared to
Oh, you're just a little baby.
I know I'm just getting started. This is the year of the Bible guy.
Oh. All right, we have another caller. I'm super pumped here. This is Jason saying the scriptures look a lot like cognitive behavioral therapy. So I am interested. Oops, wait, push the button. As to where this is going to go. Jason, hello.
Hello.
How's it going?
It's going good. A little nervous. I've never stepped out in public like this, and I'm stepping out in kind of something that could get shot down that I've been looking into. A little nervous. But
Well,
I need to find if I'm right or not because I can't tell from my position.
Okay, that's fair. And disagreement doesn't mean you've done anything. I don't know. It happens to everyone, right? So don't worry, we will be
Yeah, I
kind
mean,
either way.
that's the point. I've exhausted my local resources, and now I'm like, he's one of the guys that helped me get over hell to be able to study outside of being so terrified of everything to begin with. And I'm meeting one of my heroes for the first time, and I've never met a hero before. I'm nervous. Sorry.
Is Dalton one of your heroes?
Matt is.
Oh, okay. Sure. Well, welcome. What idea do you want to run by us?
Oh, okay. I'm not watching the show live. I'm sorry. Who all am I speaking with? They're usually two people at once, right?
Can you see us?
No, I'm outside. I wasn't watching a show. I just called in.
Okay, so okay, gotcha. So I'm Sara from LeavingFaith, and then Dalton, the Bible guy, is here as well.
Oh, okay. Matt's not on here. Okay. All right. That's totally fine. That's totally fine. You guys are awesome. Anyway, sorry, I didn't know what was going on your end. So I've been doing a whole lot of studies trying to figure out things because I was like a lot of other people praying with no answers and stuff. And so I left religion and I started getting into the sciences, and not academically. I did my own studies for my own purposes. I can get into all that, but it's going to be kind of a tearjerker. Not had a very good childhood. My son went through some stuff that I had to figure out, and this is kind of the major drivers. And in collecting information, I basically went through and noticed a movement of information. And I noticed that there's a lot of parables and things that matches up exactly to how someone should control their inner self to be maintained. Like when Jesus calmed the storm, he's laying there sleeping, and the guy's freaking out, the storm freaking out, and everything is him trying to continue his journey in peace. He wakes up, says peace to all, and then lays back down and continue the journey. It kind of just tells you how you should handle your internal workings. And it's more of a spiritual thing. It's just the people that wrote that probably had no idea how to write that other than in a spiritual lens back then.
Well,
and if you want to ask me about any other parables, I have other ideas, but I'm not actually combed through them with a new lens that I have looked through yet.
Gotcha. Yeah. So what it sounds like, I mean, is that you are taking information that you knew in one context and are now trying to fit it into a new perspective or a new context. Certainly,
I wouldn't say I was fitting it in. I just saw the connection, and I was like, this makes so much more sense than like the parable of the fig tree would be. Everybody needs to be trying to produce fruit for when someone needs it when they're ready. If you mess it up, you're not going to be there to help someone and be fruitful for them in their time of need. So it was just be ready for whatever you need to handle and be helpful with your neighbors and stuff. I mean, it's simple, stupid stuff. It's not nothing like profound or anything. It's definitely not this big spiritual guy in the clouds, though. that everybody thinks it is.
But
So you're
even with the fig tree, the parable then would be you deserve to be cursed if you're not productive.
No, I think what it means is that you've basically failed to help go any further. Like, you basically, if you don't try to help people and meet them at their time of needs, we can't do this to get alone. There's not a single thing in this universe that does not exist through a relationship of stuff. I can't see a single thing that's not moving, that doesn't exist from other cycles before it.
so when it
And
comes
it's
to
just
the when it comes
I'm
to
sorry?
specifically the parable of the fig tree, the scriptures itself kind of gives us the explanation for what the parable is supposed to be about, in that Jesus sees that there's this tree that isn't producing fruits, and then he goes and he cleans out the temple, which he sees as being corrupt, and then he afterwards he goes back and sees that the tree has been like wilted, and the tree itself is meant to be a symbol of the temple system and the people of Israel, which are dried up and not producing any fruit. So the parables do have meanings, but generally they are reflecting like theological ideas about God and the people.
Right, yeah. See, I've been doing I've been looking into why Socrates and things like that way a long time ago was all really up against writing everything down. And I was wondering if that has anything to do with kind of like the same effect of having this stuff written down makes it get taken totally out of context with what it's actually trying to describe. Almost as if they got the facts and the theological mixed up. Does that make sense? I mean, I'm not trying to change what everybody's already made translated everything into. I'm just trying to make sense of something where this shit failed me my whole life, but I don't think it's completely useless.
So you're trying to find meaning in the parables of Jesus outside of the traditional religious context. Um, but
No, well, so this is outside the traditional canon. If you go to the Gnostic texts, Buddhism, Zen, all that ancient spiritual stuff, they all the Satipatthana through Buddhism, they all kind of have a very similar message across the board. The some of the Gnostic texts actually seems to complement some of the outtakes that I've saw that is like cognitive behavioral type stuff of understanding how to calm oneself internally, be strong, have faith, move forward. I wish I wish I could regurgitate scriptures like most people, because if I could just be given a breadcrumb, I could walk through it.
I think the best
Honestly,
lens
I
of
didn't actually expect to get a hold of you all when I called in.
the best way of reading the New Testament and reading the parables of Jesus is probably going to be in light of the Hebrew Bible itself. And the theme of Jesus's parables, he always starts most of the time he starts them off by saying the kingdom of God is like, and then he gives the parable. So the theme of Jesus' parables is always centered on the rule and reign of God on earth, and how people relate to that kingdom. It's not, and that's generally the theme of the story.
Yeah, I've read it a few times. I'm not, like I said, I don't have it like completely like instilled in my brain or anything, but I get the gist of the movements of the story, and I agree with if you study the Bible just as the canon. But this, in my eyes, this thing was probably never meant to be a canon the way it was, and so it's caused a great separation from everything it got ripped out of, and then people don't even try to connect it back.
So wait, just to clarify, are you saying you think some people wrote the Bible or wrote parts of the Bible to give us kind of this spiritual information, and that spiritual information is similar between multiple religions and philosophers, but we modern humans have misinterpreted what the Bible is saying? Is that what you're claiming?
Semi kind of. I don't want it to be that harsh because I think that we have it mostly right. We're just kind of canted off a little bit. And it's only because I started going through other religions and stuff and comparing, like, what actions are they actually trying to get you to understand and take.
So who do
And
you
it seems
think?
to be, I'm
I
sorry.
mean, like, what do you think the intention of the Bible was? Like, who do you think wrote it?
Well, mostly monks and stuff being asked probably by people that was paying them to write it and stuff, but they always bickered over what translations were before. I mean, it's from my understanding, the kind of what we got has been translated from what the original authors ever even meant it to be, because
So
that
what do
got
you think
lost in
the
history, I
original
thought.
authors? So are you saying you have sort of discovered what the original authors meant?
I noticed a pattern, and I'm trying to get someone to either uh, just acknowledge the pattern as well if they see it, or tell me I'm just completely off my rocker and I've just noticed something that I'm just being in my own coherent trapped loop about.
So certainly most religions have a lot in common. I mean, most religions will, as far as behaviors, they will emphasize charity and kindness and compassion, honesty and self-discipline. Those are very common in lots of religions. You know, I, I'm not sure like what you think this is that the thread that you are saying you're finding?
Yeah, so like from what I've noticed is the since the history doesn't match up very much, it's not historical reliably um, trusted, but it's like it's got a lot of inner workings of what a person goes through when they're trying to go through cognitive behavior therapy and such things like that, about how to center yourself and calm and just how to handle relationships, how to be there for each other, how to love in different ways that we don't do.
Well, that certainly may be true, as the Bible is written by human beings, and so therefore the Bible is going to reflect human emotion and human problems, especially if you're reading the Psalms, for example.
Right. Do you
Uh,
all think that emotions are something to be afraid of, or do you think you should look through your fear just as assailants trigger to know what to look at?
I don't think you need to be afraid of having emotions. I think that's a normal part of the human experience.
I think they're communication instead of, like, in primitive times, yeah, you get scared of a shaking bush, you run from it, it saves you. We haven't lived in that world since I don't know how long. And we use the same emotional function to have arguments and stuff and debates. It's like, of course, we can't come to an agreement, not if everybody's fighting saber-tooth tigers inside.
yeah,
Can you just give me like the thesis? Like what what is it you think the message is that you think the Bible is tapping into?
I don't think there is a solid message answer. I think it's sporadic, abstract, and random. And we've tried to shove it together in ways that works with societies and turned it into what it is, canons and stuff.
Oh, no, I mean, from your perspective, what is it you think you have discovered?
That people were talking about psychological cognitive things before they had words for them. And it ended up being spirits and shit like that.
there's a nugget of that in there, of course. You know, tens of thousands of years ago, human beings, we started to develop religion because of things like hyperagency detection awareness and other sort of psychological phenomenon that resulted in the belief in spirits and gods. But by the time we get to the writing of the Bible, these are people who do believe in deities and magic and stuff like that. And while we can say the Bible doesn't really have a singular purpose, as every book of the Bible has its own author with their own agendas, and a lot, and the agendas are sporadic. Like sometimes these agendas are about calling people back to right worship of the deity. Other times it's about teaching moral lessons and proverbs, wisdom. So you know, um, yeah, I don't know what else
Yeah,
to
it
say.
sounds like what you're doing is noticing patterns of human experience, and so now you're looking back at this text
Yeah.
through a different lens and saying, "Oh, look, this is kind of highlighting different elements of the human experience," which I think you could probably
Yeah.
do
So
with any work, any text.
yeah. Well, like when I was a kid and I went through a horrible childhood and I was praying for, to get help. Went to a preacher, asked him what I could do to better, get an answer from Jesus, and he said I had to have more faith. So nothing ever happened, but I had to figure out why was I so sincere but considered not to have enough faith. I couldn't understand that. I do now, I think. At least I have something that I can grasp, but I have trouble articulating it to other people because I'm not academically inclined. But I am sincere in a way that I don't care to be wrong.
Well,
And
I mean,
I don't
people tell
necessarily
us
care to
all
be
the
right either. I just want to be correct.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, people tell us all the time that we just have to have faith, and we know that
No,
we did.
to me, the faith, the way the faith is acted out is stupid. When you have faith in someone else's ability to do something. You don't have faith in something stupid and invisible.
All I was saying is I believe that your faith
Sorry,
was sincere.
this, yeah, sorry, I hit a nerve on that one because it was like back when I was a child going through a lot of trouble. I couldn't get help from God or anybody. So I have a hard spot when it's like someone says, when I have a theologian tell me to try to have faith and stuff like that, I kind of get mad about it. You didn't say that. It's just in my head. The whole thing plays out. Like you have thoughts that you don't mean to have. It just jars you.
Yeah,
I know
and
it sounds weird. People aren't used to talking out of cognition like I do. I talk out of movement from my head. I don't talk in static terms and phrases and definitions like most people do. I talk in movement. Because I don't think any of the static definitions we have work without the relationships that built them in the first place.
Jason, have you ever heard of the Recovering from Religion Foundation?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would.
I've heard of it.
I would definitely, because we all have a lot of things that we have trouble with when it comes to our past with religion. A lot of things that we're still working for, and I suggest them all the time because I think they do amazing work, and I would 100% suggest that you reach out to them for this exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I
They're
get
great.
it. So here's my problem on my end. I'm not an academic person, and I've been studying this stuff hardcore for 10 years, watching every possible Harvard University class that I could on YouTube, to reading every book, psychology book and stuff. I didn't sit down and memorize terms to take a test on, so I can't regurgitate it as if I've been writing term papers and stuff. I wanted to know what I wanted to know. So I got enough of the subjects to see the movement of what it's talking about. And I went through and I used AI to make sure that I was keeping lined up with the data and not overreaching and overgeneralizing. But I apparently have gotten myself into a position where I can't talk without AI as training wheels about this, because I don't have, theses and papers and shit wrote up about it.
Yeah, you do have to be careful about the usage of AI, as AI is very prone
I know
to confirming
it's
our
hallucinate. I know. I make it hallucinate all the time just to test it and stuff. I probe at it.
Yeah.
I've gotten a few of them that really hallucinate really good. One of them tried to tell me that I was the noticer, some bull crap. it tried to tell me that the dev team was using my conversation to work on some new form of pressing the AI to function or something. I don't know. It tried to work me up, and I was like, yeah. I sent it to the devs so they could look at it.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you sent it for someone to look at. But I want to reiterate, I think, what Dalton said here, that the recovering from religion is great. And, you're welcome to reach out to me for additional resources if you need those. So hopefully this was maybe a little helpful. And I definitely appreciate you calling in.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Have a great night.
Mm-hmm.
We got some more super chats here. I think this one is about the Karaites from earlier, saying, are these Protestant Jewish people anti-Zionist? And like any Jewish group, you're going to get mixed opinions on Zionism, because even amongst Orthodox Jews, there some are pro-Zionism, some are anti-Zionism, and the same thing is true with Karaite Jews. So there's that. And a big L from our good friend Justin saying, the Prince of Egypt is an abomination. Justin, you could not be more wrong. The cast alone for the Prince of Egypt, Jeff Goldblum plays Aaron, Sir Patrick Stewart plays the Pharaoh, and then he plays the first Pharaoh, the father Pharaoh, and then Ralph Fiennes, or is it Ray Fiennes? Well,
Ray probably.
Yeah, he's the one who plays Ramesses.
Voldemort himself.
Voldemort himself plays. He's such a good villain. And then Moses and God are both voiced by Val Kilmer. And then Hotep and Hoy, the priests, the Egyptian priests, are played by Steve Martin and Martin Short, the classical,
fantastic.
Yeah, it's just such. Sandra Bullock plays Miriam.
Oh wow!
It's just an absolutely stacked cast.
That's incredible. Sorry, Justin, you're just wrong. Like, you're just wrong about it.
Someone's telling me it's Ralph, but it's pronounced as Rafe. So Rafe Fiennes.
Oh, Rafe Fiennes.
Yeah, and the music is. I still listen to it. Absolutely. Val Kilmer was hot. I'm pretty sure he still is, right?
I don't know if he's still alive.
Oh, well, if he is not alive, then no, he's not hot anymore. Quite cold. But yeah, Jeff Goldblum. We did mention Jeff Goldblum plays Aaron. I love Jeff Goldblum. He's one of my favorite actors. The way he's like if a bumblebee came to life. He's very sing-songy. He likes to do a little bit of this. I love him so much.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Gentleman Viking again with the $2. I used to play the redemption card game. Do you know what this is a reference to?
No, I don't. I mean, I don't know if it was when we were talking about Salty, the singing songbook, or not. I do not know that card game though.
Yeah, you wait. I'm sorry. I love you, Viking gentleman, but I also do not know what this is. Is this? Listen, I'm young. I'm dumb.
And
I
so
don't,
young.
and I don't know what any of these references are. Love that though. Big W to Viking Chef. And everyone should watch their TikTok videos. They're fantastic. He's got a British accent, which makes everything he says sound that much more smarter. Someone's trying to get my attention over here. Okay. And then at Joshua Everett with the $5 saying, I will give the Christians credit for bringing us the amazing art form of Christian comedy, and to a lesser extent the Christian action movie.
Christmas.
This has got Christmas? Oh, Christmas comedy and Christmas action movie. Is that necessarily is that Christians who are responsible for that? Yeah. Were Christians responsible for Jingle All the Way?
Or Die Hard?
Or Die Hard? It's such a Christian film. Yippee-ki-yay. Jesus Christ. I haven't watched Die Hard yet
What at all?
at all. I don't.
You have to watch it now and report back, and then I will tease you if you hate it.
Oh yeah, the only things I know about is that it's not a Christmas movie, and that there's a Rick and Morty episode dedicated to it.
Okay, you have homework, sir.
There we go. I'll watch it this Christmas, and then I'll get back to everyone on that.
That's like 6 months away.
It's seasonal. It's if it's a Christmas movie, then it's got to be during Christmas. Duncan's biggest L. Trust me, I've got a lot more where that came from. And what is it? At Barstow Kid with the $1.99. At least Pocahontas is a true story by Disney. I'm pretty sure she was a minor.
Yeah, I don't think she had a lot of options in that story. I think it is much worse than what Disney portrayed.
And I correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think the real life Pocahontas was friends with a raccoon and a hummingbird. I could be wrong.
Who knows?
But I find it's probably not the case.
It's probably more likely that she was friends with a raccoon than it is that she like fell in love with John Smith and willingly went with him.
Oh yeah, anyone who wants to know, just look up historically accurate Pocahontas, and I'm pretty sure that wasn't even her name. I think that was a nickname for her.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not the best when it comes to history. Up until very recently, I thought as a Texan that we won the Battle of the Alamo, and that's why we say remember the Alamo.
Oh no.
Yeah, no, I'm not historic. Listen, I know a lot about ancient Israel. Not much about American history though.
Dude.
I thought it was like remember the Alamo because we kicked a lot of butt, not because we got our butts handed to us.
Oh no.
Yeah, let's see those L's for the Bible guy in the comment section. It's all good. Actually, someone asked me recently where the Alamo was, and I said Austin, Texas. I think it's San Antonio, actually, though.
It is in San Antonio. Yes, that is correct.
I learned that one 2 weeks ago. So we're all still learning new things.
Oh my God.
So it's interesting though that 100% of the callers today have been atheists and agnostics.
No one wants to defend the Bible.
I think it's because it's indefensible is the problem.
Yeah. We're just very scary.
Oh yes, everyone. Look how scary me and Sara are. Yeah, that's for sure. I know. I got someone here who's trying to fix our shower, and now my dogs are losing their mind.
Well, here, hang on. Let me pull this one up. I can do that. Oh wait, did it come? I pressed the button. Okay, I pulled a super chat up, but I don't see it up. I don't know, but I will just read it from over here, because this person says Larry gave his hairbrush to the Peach, and when he was conscripted into piracy, his entire crew resisted by not doing anything. Larry Boy is a socialist. And I have to say, literally any time in my life that I lose my hairbrush, I sing, "Oh, where is my hairbrush?" Like it is cemented in my brain.
Oh yeah, for the longest time, my only reference for Jonah and the story of Jonah was the VeggieTales version. I actually knew the story of Nebuchadnezzar from VeggieTales first and foremost before I knew it from the Bible.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Do you remember the episode that he had a factory where they made chocolate bunnies?
Yes, there was a song like the bunny. Oh, I love the bunny. Something about a bunny.
Yeah.
Yes.
Love that.
And then from Justin with the $4.99 super chat, proof that electrical engineers save more than Jesus.
That facts. Let there be light, but at the appropriate time.
Oh my God, that's terrible. We also have Whohead says, first of all, Die Hard is totally a Christmas movie. Second, I hate the horizontal feed, but I love the two of you. You hate the horizontal? Do we have someone who likes vertical? Because usually it's the opposite.
W for the vertical stream, absolutely. And I love all my horrors, but the verts are where it's at right now. But yeah, you keep saying things in the super chats about it, and maybe the people at the line will take notice.
Okay. Oh, we have a comment about the Alamo. Hang on.
Oh, lovely. I can't wait to get roasted.
Okay, let's see. To be fair, the Texans' fight at the Alamo was about colonialism and maintaining legalized slavery, and no one remembers that part.
Oh, well, good thing they lost. Screw Texas. Listen, I already don't like Texas, so you just gave me another reason to not like our not so great state.
Oh.
Yeah, I feel so out of place here.
I bet.
I cannot wait to, as soon as I get the money, as soon as this whole debate thing finally takes off for the Bible guy, I'm going to be moving out to somewhere a bit more like maybe New York City or somewhere in California.
Oh, that'd be amazing. Yeah.
I say New York City because I have a huge man crush on Zoran Mamdani.
I'm sure you'll meet him. I'm sure he'll live next door.
That's exactly what I want.
All right. Well, kind of, I guess, last call for any theists who want to call in. We are happy to talk about the Bible. So I want to do a last call.
Where are you, Christians? Where are you, Christians? Why can't I find you? Yeah, it's crazy.
Beautiful.
Thank you very much. Someone has asked me recently to do a whole stream dressed as Elvis Presley and in character answering calls as Elvis.
Oh my gosh, I couldn't. I don't think I could stay in character that long.
I listen, for enough super chats, I'll do anything.
Careful what you say there, man.
Anyone who's watching the Bible After Dark shows knows exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah. Also, someone says randomly, John Wayne was a drunken racist asshole. I believe it because he's from that time period, and a lot of people, and pretty much everyone was at the time. Ophelia says, yes, I know. You're the one who suggested it, Ophelia. I'm listening. Yeah, I listen to my audience. Let's say, I'm not a fan of The Grinch. What? Another L in the comment section. The Grinch is a fantastic movie, and if you don't think so, then you're just wrong objectively. That's one of the.
Which one? Which Grinch?
The Jim Carrey one.
No.
Oh no, not you, Sarah.
I like the original, the cartoon. That one's good.
No. I mean, it's fine and all, but I love Jim Carrey's The Grinch. The Grinch over at Universal Studios is so funny.
It's not been.
Someone dresses up perfectly as him, and there's just he's just so in character. He's so funny. Someone walked into the building, and he was standing there, and they went, oh, and they yelled. He goes, I was just standing here. Oh man, he's so good. Everyone just go check out Grinch ASMR. You won't be sorry.
Grinch really?
Yeah, he's a beautiful, perfect being, the Grinch.
You're such a goober.
But everyone's in agreement with you, so there's that. Yeah, so I guess L the Bible guy. I don't care. I've seen what makes you all applaud, and I don't care. But from at Ophelia's Love Shack, love that name. With the $1.99 for the Elvis Fund. Well, there you go.
Do you have an Elvis getup?
No, I gotta get one. I'm gonna get the big white leotard with the red scarf and the wig, and maybe I'll change my background to be a stage or something. I don't know. I don't half-ass things.
I guess you don't.
Ooh. Your boos mean nothing. I've seen what makes you cheer. Exactly. Thank you. That's the quote I was looking for. Hi. You want to say hi to the people?
Someone said, I'm going to guess that Sarah once looked a bit like Cindy Lou Who.
That's why she hates the Grinch movie. Constantly being told that.
I mean, you're not that wrong, really. I did have like little blonde hair. Oh, I think we're going to get an animal. I'm excited. Hi, buddy.
There we go.
Jimmy said to try an actual meme challenge for the theists and that they're not calling because they don't know what they're doing and their moms smell bad.
You know what? Jimmy's 100% right on that. Everyone in the comment section, gang up on the theists, tell them to call in, let them know that they do stink, and that they need to take a shower, and that we know the Bible better than they do, and they should call in to prove us wrong. Ain't that right? In fact, I'm pretty sure my dog might know more of the Bible than these theists do. It doesn't take a lot. You just got to read the book.
I mean, yeah, that is the first step.
Yeah, I'll say some instigating things. Hey, theists, the Bible is pro-slavery. Jesus is dead. He's a big heckin' dead boy. He didn't fulfill any prophecies, and Yahweh is super gay. So call in, and we'll talk about it. And their mom dresses them funny. That too, yes.
Well, I guess we have to be more what's the word I'm looking for?
Sarah doesn't have a mean bone in her body. She's like, I don't know what to do right now.
I'm sorry. I don't like to yell at people.
Theists, you specifically do deserve hell. That's what the anti-Sarah would say.
Okay, bud. Well, while we're waiting, do you guys want to see a bunny?
Yes, I've never seen these bunnies. I didn't even know you had bunnies until earlier this week, and someone said it.
Okay, 1 second.
And we got here at Where is Waldo with the 5 Canuck bucks saying anyone who liked the original Grinch movie needs to watch the Grinch song uncensored. I'll keep that in mind. I'll give it a watch. Oh my God. All right.
Okay,
Amy,
so here we go.
I need you to be extra cute right now. We're trying to compete.
Do you have anything to say to people? This is Checkers.
Ava, say hi to Checkers. Oh God. Someone just walked in. She said, "No, I will not. I will not compete." Shh. You're okay. Oh my gosh, the most chill little thing. Look at that.
Yep. She's chill until I get her into if I move her into a position she doesn't like, suddenly she will freak out and I'll have to put her right back down.
I don't know. She looks like she's judging me.
She is. Are you judgmental? Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, if we get some more super chats, I will feed her a carrot stick, and boy is that cute.
I can't feed Nini carrot sticks. I don't think dogs can eat carrot sticks. What do you think, Nini?
Dogs can eat carrots. My dog will not. She's absolutely not. She will only eat meat and bread.
This live stream is getting a little hairy. Oh,
Shh. There you go. You want to say hi? Do you have anything to say to your friends? No.
What about you? You got anything to say? Okay, and then with at Ophelia's Love Shack with the $1.99 bunny. There you go.
It's not moving. Okay, I can get a little carrot stick. You want a carrot? Everyone would love to see that, I bet. Give me 2 seconds. Hey, you're gonna eat some snacks, okay?
Now let's take a look and see what books Sarah has on the shelf. I'm seeing Joseph Prince on the shelf. Anyone who doesn't know who Joseph Prince is, he's like free grace, like you can never lose your salvation kind of Christian. That's crazy. The Martian. Oh, that's a good one. Love that. That's so juxtaposed. Sarah, were you a Joseph Prince fan?
Oh, her little crunchies are the best. Oh, we maybe have someone calling in.
Yeah, I love that.
Want some more carrot?
Sadly, we cannot hear the crunchies.
Really? Oh, well, don't eat that.
We got 2 people calling in. Wow, the bunny really did it.
Good job, checkers. We're so proud of you.
You also put in some work too, Nini. And at Joshua Everett with the $5 saying, theists are probably praying for their God to dial the phone for them rather than doing it themselves. Hashtag team kitty is greater than bunny, which is greater than puppy, which is greater than fish. Well, are you gonna let them say that about you, Nini? Crusty white dog? Crusty, what's that pink shit under your eye? Crusty white dog.
Yes, she is free roam. Yep, so she gets to bop around the house.
Sam, Man, Texas, and Jesus versus the World. That one sounds like fun. That sounds like a good book. But you have a Joseph Prince book on your shelf.
Oh yeah. Someone I was talking to someone on TikTok and we did the thing where it's like, listen, I will read whatever book you send me if you'll read whatever book I send you. And that's the book I got.
That must have been fun.
Yeah, I sent him Jerry Coyne's Why Evolution is True.
Nice. What was what is this book about? The Power of Right Believing. It's about what? Thinking things positively for yourself?
Ugh. Yeah, help you find freedom from every fear, guilt, and addiction. Not great.
This doesn't sound like a Christian book.
Yeah, I don't recommend.
When I was in high school, I used to, watch Joel Osteen on TV.
Oh no.
And I had his book every day a Friday.
I have not read any of his books.
Yeah, the only thing I remember from the book was he said that you're supposed to start every day waking up by saying Psalm 119 verse 27, I think is what it was. Today is the day the Lord has made, and I will rejoice and be glad in it. Turns out that's not how that works, but we got a theist.
Yay!
Now.
All right, hang on. I'm gonna set Buns down. There you go, baby. Have fun.
Hello, Sam.
Hey, how's it going?
Fantastic. Glad to have you call in.
So as a representative of Jesus Christ, you already know the story of Christ, him coming to the earth, being crucified for the world's sins. But why would the world be sinful? So I was just going to say, the way the world operates, right? Like, do you have a job?
Yes, this is my job.
Do you work for a company? Do you work for myself. A corporation? No, I'm curious to know.
He said no.
You can answer that. So you don't have a job. So
I do have a job. I work for myself.
Okay. So you know the way the corporations work, right? Like,
Uh-huh.
in the world, when you have Jesus Christ, he tells you two things. One is you cannot serve God and you cannot serve money, right? You can
Sure.
either serve one or the other. So right there, it tells us how the way the world operates. It operates through money, right? So everyone who works, well, they're worth money, right? That's because of corporate-owned life insurance, right? So when people work, they're worth dollars. Is that right?
Under the capitalist
Like
system, yes.
their life.
I am curious.
Their
what this
life
has to do with
is worth money when they die. Is that right?
under the capitalist system, yes. What does this have to do with God, though?
Well, that's what I say is if there's a bad, then there's a good. That's why Jesus Christ, who says that I am the truth, I am the way, I am the life, tells you that the only way to life is truth. Now, will we still believe that honesty is the best policy, or you guys don't believe in that policy either?
It's context dependent. Like, for example,
that's a cliche as well. That's not from the Bible.
yeah. Like, for example, Sam, let's say it's World War II. You've got Nazis knocking on your door, and you're hiding Jewish people in your basement, and the Nazis say, "Are there Jews in your basement?" Is honesty the best policy?
Honesty is always the best policy. And the truth is that since you know that these Nazis want to kill Jews, then you don't need to answer that question. That's the way I would take it.
What do you
I'm
think?
just being honest about it.
What do you think they're going to think if you refuse to answer their questions?
What would they think about? What was that?
What if the Nazi says to you, "Are there Jews in your basement?" and you refuse to answer? Like, what happens when you ask people a very direct question and they refuse to answer you? What do you usually think that they're trying to do?
Okay, well, let me first ask you this. Are we living in Nazi Germany? Are we living 100 years ago?
Sir, he is trying to give you an example of when it would actually be morally good to lie. So protecting the life of someone is that's it. That's the entire point. So I think maybe you're in agreement that it would be morally good to protect this person, correct?
I think it would be morally good to lay down your life for someone else. Why don't you go
in
to
order
war?
to do that,
why are you letting people
lie.
kill people? Why don't you lay down your life to try to defend these people who are being slaughtered by the millions?
Well, after the Nazis go into your house and then they kill you, they're just going to go and end up killing those Jewish people. So that doesn't help. You laying down your life doesn't help. The only thing that is going to ensure that these Jewish people stay safe is that you say to the Nazis, "No, there are no Jews in my basement." You have to lie to them.
So the best thing for you to do is lie and not man up and go to war against these Nazis? Let somebody else handle the job?
Well, if I'm a citizen of Germany,
get yourself. If you're in war, go to war. But the point is, we're not talking about 100 years ago. Let's talk about right now. Jesus versus the world.
So if someone comes to my door and says, "Are you hiding someone who is not here legally?"
There's no Nazis. Why with the hypotheticals? Forget about dealing with hypotheticals. We're not dealing with that. Deal with reality. Come back to reality. You're not in Nazi Germany protecting Jews in your basement. Forget about it. Let's talk about now.
To be clear, Sam.
Go ahead,
Sam. To be clear, you are growing up with an imaginary friend. Let's not point fingers at people and tell them to come back to reality. Now, Sara was going to give you a very real example of what could happen in 2026.
Of Jesus Christ. I'm not telling you, let's go back and put on sandals and wear dresses and say that we're living.
So, Sam, there are Nazis that exist right now, just to be clear.
Yeah.
And
they didn't really show up 5 years ago when all these statues were being toppled, right? Here's the point. They didn't show up when all these statues were being toppled. They had their opportunity. If anything, it's a psychological game.
Who didn't show up?
Do you have Jews hiding in your basement right now?
Who didn't show up,
Is that what's happening?
Sam, who didn't show up? Who are you talking
Can
about?
we come to reality?
Yes, this
All
really
I'm trying
happened
to
in
do
reality.
is talk about reality.
Great, this was reality.
There's
This
no
really happened.
Jews in your basement. You're not
You don't know
Sam.
that.
Frank.
You don't
Sam.
know that.
I'm going to need you to get it together a little bit here. What are you
You're
trying
not
to make
Anne
an
Frank.
argument that
We don't live 100 years ago. You don't have Jews in your
Well,
basement.
that's fine.
There's no
That's fine, 'cause
Nazis knocking on your door.
That is fine.
Take it easy. Come back to.
Okay, Sam, I've got you muted for a second. So to be clear, we're not talking about 1945 anymore. Now we're talking about 2026. Sara is presenting to you a situation that occurred today in 2026. So we're going to let Sara go ahead and give the example she was going to give you.
Name of somebody.
Oh my God, are you still talking?
Who is.
Sam, did you hear that you were muted?
No. You kind of sound fuzzy, to be honest.
Okay, so you were muted because you wouldn't stop talking when we were trying to ask you a question. So you were muted so that you would stop so we could have a clearer conversation. Okay? I was going to give you a
conversation.
Sam, I was about to give you a 2026 example of maybe when it would be a good thing to lie. However, I think you're getting maybe mired down in this. Tell me your one point. Is your point that every human being needs Jesus? Like, is that where we're going?
No, I'm talking about what reality is right now. When you're dealing with a corporate world, right? Because you're dealing with corporate-owned life insurance. Well, if everyone's worth a dollar bill, because that's what Collie is, right? Well, who's to say that we don't live in a dog-eat-dog world?
Are you calling in to talk about the? Are you calling in to ask about the horrors of capitalism and why we should all be communists?
Are you a communist? Do you support communism?
I do.
You called capitalism
which is why
horrors, so I would think that you're the opposite of that.
I am a communist, but
so you believe
you seem to be a bit confused that
a loaf of bread
this
for
is a
each house.
call-in show about God, not economics.
Well, that's what I'm telling you is why God tells us the way the world is, why Jesus Christ tells us the way the world is. You see, times change. They do. You were mentioning 100 years ago. You don't have Jews. You're not Anne Frank. They're not in your basement. So times change. We get it. People don't. They have the same desire in their heart. So when Jesus Christ tells us that people either go for money or God, that's what they live for. They live for money. And when you go back to Jesus, he tells you what children of the devil are. They're liars.
I'm going to have to stop you there, Sam. Sam, hang on. Before you go any further, just to clarify, are you saying for all the people in your life, everyone that you know, all the people you love and care about, they neatly fall into two categories? They only either care about money or God.
Right.
Really?
Yes. I mean, that's life. I mean,
I know. I think you need to meet some more people.
Don't you know that money makes the world go round? You don't believe that?
I'm an atheist and a communist.
You don't believe that cash is
I don't like God or money. So what now?
Yeah, Sam, there are so many people who are guided by love and generosity or connection. They aren't guided by money or God.
All right. Did you say it was going to be muted or what? Or is it muted? I don't know.
No, I can hear you now.
No, I mean, people can act like they love, but I mean, we all know. I mean, do you really love everyone?
No, we don't all know. Are you saying you don't think anyone in your life genuinely loves you?
No, I'm not saying that at all.
Okay.
I'm just saying that when somebody says that they love like somebody, like when you say the people in your basement that you wouldn't fight for them, you wouldn't go to war with them to try to defeat this evil that is coming against them, that's not really love.
So Sam, what I said to you, Sam, what I said to you is that there are people in the world.
You wouldn't even lay down your life in an hour.
Sam, stop. What I said to you was that there are people in the world who are guided by love. I did not say every human being loves every human being. You are creating a false dichotomy. You are imagining the world in which there are only two possibilities. And I think you're suffering from a lack of imagination or a lack of experience. There are so many other things that guide people. It is not simply God or money. Yes, there may be people who fall into one of those two categories, but people are diverse. There are so many people who are guided by other things. And I think you're probably missing out on a big part of the world.
I mean, if you guys weren't guided by money, then why would you guys be begging people for money, right? To send you donations so that you could read their
sadly,
comments on
sadly we live
line,
in
right?
sadly we live under a capitalist system, and so the only way we can continue bringing wonderful shows like this and others on the line to you wonderful, beautiful people is to
you have to pay your rent, bro.
Yeah. Should I be homeless?
You need money, right?
That doesn't mean that that's a guiding principle in our lives.
So you're not doing this for money, but yet you're asking everyone
Sam,
for money to read their comments.
I just want to be really clear with you.
You just said,
Sam,
I got to pay rent,
Sam,
bro.
Stop. Sam.
Of course you need money.
I just want to be really clear. I have a full-time job. This does not support me in any way. I do not make anywhere near enough money for this to support me. I have done this for years without earning any money. So no, I am not doing this for the money. This is not for money. No.
Do you work for the government?
No.
Okay. So that means that you are owned by your company, right?
I don't work for a company either.
Corporate-owned life insurance.
Oh my God.
You're self-employed?
Again, your point being that Sam, you got to stop. Your point that I do this for the money is wrong. Just to clarify, do you got it?
Then why do you guys ask for money?
We value what this entire thing offers, and it takes money to put on this show.
Yeah, you think we can do this you think we can do this without money?
So you're guided by money.
Someone needs money doesn't mean that that's their value. Like, I go to work and they pay me, but I value what I do at my job independent of the amount that they pay me.
So you do it for free?
I would do it for free if I didn't have to pay rent. Absolutely.
Then you're still guided by money because you always have an excuse. I got to pay rent. My point is,
you work for a company. That's not an excuse. That's reality. Didn't you want to talk about reality?
Yeah, Sam. How do I do my job?
How do I company?
Sam,
that means they own you. Is that correct?
Sam. How do I do what I do if I don't have a house and a computer? If I live on the streets, how do I do my show?
Nobody needs to have you on here.
It's not about me. If I want to educate Christians on what the Bible actually
to hear you on.
I think I beat you to it.
If I want to educate Christians on what the Bible says, because none of you know jack shit about what the Bible says. If I want to educate you people on the Bible, how do I do that without a house and without a computer? Let me know that, and that'd be fantastic.
Also, Sam, do you earn money?
Yes, I do earn money.
Okay.
You love money.
So you are motivated by money. You love money.
I'm not motivated by money. I just know how the way the world operates. When you work for a company,
so what does this have to do with God?
The way the capitalism works. The way capitalism works is
we don't need to talk about capitalism, Sam.
They get their piece, right?
Sam.
So here's the point.
Tell us what this has to do with God.
Right, because regardless of whether or not your God is real or not, I still have to have a job in order to live in America.
I don't really think that you even know what corporate-owned life insurance is, to be honest.
I couldn't care less. Care less. Fun fact, when I was a Christian, I still had a job.
Yep.
So
And when
that's
I was
just
a
actually
Christian,
the
I had
reason
corporate
where
owned
the
life
default
insurance.
is at. Right. Where when you know what even corporate owned life insurance means?
Yes.
What does it mean?
Oh my God, dude, I'm 40 years old. I have worked a full-time job for the last 20 years. You need to chill.
So what does it mean?
Tell us what this has to do with God.
So let's
Because
say
it's a
tomorrow
dog eat
America
dog
is
world.
America is communist and we no longer have to like pay for shit. I'm
My
still doing
point
this
is,
job.
you get your morals
I'm still
from
doing this.
God because this world has no morality.
I don't
This
do. I don't get
world
my,
is about money.
okay, Sam. I don't get
And
my
they will
morals from
do
God.
anything they want to do to get it.
Sam,
That's
I
my
don't get my
point.
Sam. I don't get my morals from God. I don't. I happen to think that slavery is a bad thing. What do you think?
The what?
I think slavery is bad. What do you think?
You're a slave right now to money.
No.
You still got to work.
I think you're. I think you're obsessed.
Is that people
Sam,
don't live in a plantation
the only person here
and work in
who's
the field
I'm just
while
gonna
the
mute you. I think the only person here who's obsessed with money, Sam, is you. I don't think about money as often as you seem to do. It seems like your mind is enslaved to money. I don't hardly ever think about money. Only when I get paid and only when I have to pay for things. Otherwise, I'm not thinking about money. You're obsessed with money, and you don't seem to be able to. You don't. I don't. You said it says here that you're 42 years old. It's kind of weird how naive you are about the way that the world works, Sam.
Yeah. You know, I just realized right now, you know, and the thing is because you guys don't really understand the way the world works. Like when you think about it. And I'm not trying to be,
Sam,
you know,
I think we probably know more. We probably know more about the way that the world works because we don't live in fantasy land. We don't live in La La Land where we have magic and gods and talking snakes and talking donkeys and dead people coming back to life and the world existing for 6,000 years. Me and Sarah are much more well situated within the real world, which is why we're able to answer the question of, do you have Jews in your basement? And lie.
What's in the real world for you? What's the real world for you? Oh, let me be in a rock band. Yeah, let's try to make some, you know, have a good vacation.
Sam, are you a troll?
For you? How do you think people
God, I hope so.
Sam,
buildings downtown?
Sam, this is a genuine question. Are you a troll? Because here's the thing. Maybe it's because I'm a little bit autistic. I can't tell the difference between trolls and Christians anymore. Are you a troll or are you being for real? Because there's no way you're being for real right now.
No, I'm you know, that's why I say we're in two different spectrums, because you believe the world to be like lollipops
we got
and rainbows.
Elijah.
And I actually
have a good night, Sam.
That was crazy. Oh my God.
Hopefully Elijah will be a little bit more collected than Sam was. Gee whiz.
Okay.
Well,
Elijah, welcome.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing great. Just as a Christian here, I don't know what that guy was on, or why he was trying to push you guys on. I don't even know what his argument was, and I think that was foolish of him. So sorry about that.
No, it's fine. Don't worry, we don't put you in the same category.
Well, thank you. I see it. Thank you. Maybe my first question for you guys. My first question is, if Christianity were true, would you become a Christian?
I would have to.
Okay. And you'd also agree?
No, I don't think it's that simple. So when you say if Christianity were true, which version of Christianity?
Yeah,
sure.
Which version?
Yeah, I'm meaning. Sure. Well, I'm meaning the Protestant Christianity. Let's say Protestant, for example. The dogmas that we have: the Trinity, Bible is infallible, God exists, Jesus is God. If that were all objectively true, would you become a Christian?
So in this worldview, I have to believe that God knows everything. He created us knowing what we would be like and knowing ahead of time who's going to go to heaven or hell, right?
Yes. If that were true, would you believe it and become a Christian? That's my question.
So I would believe it. I would believe that it was true, but I'm not going to worship a God who's that cruel.
Might become a mesotheist. which is someone that believes in the existence of God but thinks he's a dick.
Mm-hmm. Wait, sorry. What was that question? What?
We would probably become like mesotheists, which are people who believe in the existence of God, but they just think he's like a bad guy.
Okay. I understand where you're coming from, like in this worldview of yours right now. But I'm trying to say, like, I have this hypothetical that if Christianity were true, like an objective fact,
yes,
and objectively
Elijah,
true.
I answered your question. Yes, if
okay,
Christianity was so, Elijah, if Christianity is objectively true, that means there really is a God who is sorting people. Elijah, you got to let me finish. There really is a God who is sorting people into heaven and hell simply based on whether they believe a claim to be true. And that God knew ahead of time when he was designing these people that the majority of the people that he designed are going to have infinite torture. They are going to suffer forever and ever and ever. And God knew that ahead of time and designed them anyway. And so he's not sorting people based on their actions. He's not sorting them based on their morality. He's sorting them based on whether they believe the right thing and whether they pledge their allegiance to him. And to me, that is an evil dictator that would do such a terrible thing. So I would believe that it was true, but I would not worship that God.
Okay. Yes. Thank you for the clarification. But I think, so in your whole statement right there, you're making an underlying claim that is that evil of God to put people in either hell or heaven?
Yes. Infinite punishment for finite crimes is by definition unjust.
Okay. And is that an objective moral evil?
No. Objective morals don't exist.
Okay. Not even in Christianity, they don't exist.
Do you believe that morals are all relative, correct?
All morals are subjective, even Christian morals.
Okay. And so then in that case, then do you believe like rape could be a morally beautiful thing?
No. Okay. Elijah, let me just, before you say something terrible on here, under the Christian system, your underlying principle for what is morally good and bad is only determined by obedience. Any act is permissible as long as God commands it. And so you do not have a moral structure that says something is good or bad based on whether it harms people or helps people. Your moral structure is based on, is this obedient to God? And you will see things where God commands his followers to do terrible things. So if you want to make the argument,
you're saying terrible things. So you are
Elijah,
that
I'm going to need you to calm down for a second, because what I'm telling you is that you, as a Christian, do not have an objective moral system. And if you're going to come on here and say that, well, under your system, you'd be okay with rape, Elijah, I would tell you that under your system, you have to be okay with rape as long as your God commands it.
Why is that?
If your God commands it,
if your
then
God
it's good.
commands it. So do you remember what happened?
Yeah, but hold on. Can we pause right there, please? Can we just pause right there? Can I finish my point, please?
Did you listen to what my point was?
Yes, I heard you. Thank you. Yes, I'm listening to what you said. I want to respond to that real quickly.
Just take a couple.
God would never claim. God would never.
Here, before you do that, Elijah, just take a couple breaths. We can have a calm and collective conversation about this.
Yes. Thank you. Yes. God would never claim or command rape because rape is an objective moral evil. Okay, that's what I would view it as. And so to say that God could claim and command rape would just be illogical, because if God is truly all loving, then he would never
Numbers 31.
that.
Yeah. Numbers, have you heard familiar?
Oh, I was going to do a different one.
Oh, which one were you going to do?
When God says that he's going to punish David by having his wives raped.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. Do you think it's morally permissible to have innocent women raped for something that they didn't do?
Most likely not. No.
Most likely?
Look at the context of the verse.
What's the context in which it would be morally good to have women raped for something they didn't do?
Okay, so I'll go back because I want to re-evaluate my statement. I would say no. It is always wrong for women to be raped.
Okay, how familiar are you with the story of King David?
Pretty familiar, but I'm wondering what verse are you...
do you remember the story of Bathsheba and Uriah?
Yes.
And
pretty familiar with it, yeah.
Yeah, and David unjustly had Uriah killed, and he also slept with Uriah's wife. Do you remember what God's punishment against David was for what he did?
Was the killing of the baby.
That's one of the things. There's another thing that God says he's going to do to David.
And that is, can you tell me what verse?
Yep, 2 Samuel chapter 12, verses 11 through 12. Thus says the Lord, I will raise up trouble against you from within your own house, and I will take your wives from your eyes and give them to your neighbor, and he shall lie with your wives in broad daylight. For you did it secretly, but I will do this thing before all Israel and in broad daylight. And then Absalom, David's son, goes on to rape David's concubines. But God says he's the one responsible for this happening.
What verse is that again? Sorry.
2 Samuel chapter 12, verses 11 through 12.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
So the question is, in what context is it okay for those concubines to be raped?
Because I'm pretty sure this is fulfilling, as David violated another man's wife, so another will violate his wives. This was fulfilled in 2 Samuel 16.
An innocent woman should be raped for something she didn't do in order for a man to be punished.
Yes. I see your question. I want to look at the Hebrew and understand the verse. I'm not familiar with this verse. I'll just be completely honest. So yes, I understand your objection here. Is there another
Tell me what your objection is.
What? Sorry,
when you read this, why is it wrong?
Mm-hmm. Well, okay. I believe that I believe that God has divine command theory, that whatever he says will go, but that is within his confounds of his nature, which is omnibenevolence.
Well, you don't know that's omnibenevolent. You just believe it because you're told that. Because if God were
based on philosophy,
like Elijah, if God were evil, would you be able to tell? That's
just an assumption that you can't even put because
no. I'm just asking if he were evil, could you tell?
That wouldn't be the God that I worship.
No, if Yahweh were evil, you're turning your brain off. Is what you're doing right now. If Yahweh were evil,
I'm not.
What could he say or do to show you that he's evil?
Okay. That statement right there has the assumption that I'm worshiping the wrong God because I believe it's not.
I'm not yet assuming that you worship the wrong God. I'm asking if it turned out the God you did worship was evil, what would they have to do or say to show you that they're evil?
Okay, I'm sorry, but I can't answer that because if my God is evil, there's no if. There's no possibility that the God
if you didn't eat breakfast this morning, would you be hungry?
Yes.
So you are able to answer hypotheticals. If your God were evil,
yes, because
what could it say or do? I'm not saying your God. There's nothing there's no logical contradiction in a God being evil.
No, yes there is.
Wait,
because
let me try it this way.
Yeah.
Can I finish, please?
No. You at one point you did not know this God, right? And then you learned about this God, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So when you were learning about this God, you had to figure out for yourself, is this God good?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So when you were figuring out if this God was good, how did you know if he was good versus knowing that he's evil? What you had to make that decision. Oh, look, this tells me God is good.
Do you want me to answer you?
So I'm asking, how did you know? How did you know he was good versus
evil?
evil?
The ontological argument for God's existence that there has to be something greater, a maximally great being, and that if that being exists, he has to be omniscient, omnipotent, and omnibenevolent.
You learned
Based on-
that argument. Wait, at what age did you start believing in God?
Well, okay, so at age 8, I said that I believe in God, but then through my high school years, I had this crisis of faith where I did not know these things to be true. And so I was really trying to search, like, is this objectively true? Does God really exist? Is the God that I worship truly God? And so I watched, like, I recommend you guys just to watch, like, Christopher Hitchens versus Dr. William Lane Craig, and to watch a bunch of the debates. The Four Horsemen.
I've watched
Sam
the
Harris,
debates.
Christopher Hitchens, Richard Dawkins, Daniel Dennett, and then against Dr. William Lane Craig. And Dr. William Lane Craig is a great, renowned philosopher.
I've watched Bill Craig's debates. I don't agree with Bill Craig.
Well, clearly, because you're an atheist. But the point is, that's how I came to realize of all the philosophical and then historical arguments for God's existence and then Jesus, which we haven't even dived into yet. Can I propose one real quick? What convinced me? So have you guys heard of, I'll just say it like this. Would you guys agree that whatever begins to exist has a cause for its beginning?
No. Oh, God. And the universe began to exist, therefore the universe has a cause. But I'm not convinced the universe had a beginning.
Well, let's work through it. Whatever begins to exist
Elijah,
has a cause.
but Elijah, before you speak down to us, please understand.
I'm not trying to speak down to you. No.
Elijah, calm down.
Elijah, calm down.
Please understand, we have heard this argument 100 times. Like, we know exactly what you're about to say because we've heard the same argument 100 times. So you don't need to slow walk us through it.
Let's unpack it. Okay, well.
No,
okay.
I don't need to unpack it.
Okay.
We know where it ends up.
The universe had a beginning.
No, the universe did not have a beginning.
No, I've not been given a good argument for the universe having a definite beginning.
Do you believe in the Big Bang?
Yes,
Big Bang is not the beginning of the universe.
Yeah, a recent survey by physicists all over the world shows that 68% of physicists might believe in a singularity, but not a beginning to the universe. There's nothing about the Big Bang that necessitates that the Big Bang is the beginning of the universe. It's only as far back as we're able to see. It's like seeing off a mile in the distance. You can only see a mile in the distance, but that doesn't mean that there isn't more beyond that mile. Just because we can only go back and see 13.8 billion years ago to the Big Bang doesn't mean that that is the beginning of the universe. It's only as far back as we can see.
Okay. So do you believe that we're in an eternal universe?
Yeah, that would be the default position.
Okay, interesting. So I think that creates some philosophical problems because an actual infinite does not exist. Would you say an actual infinite exists?
I would say an actual infinite does exist.
Okay. So then can you prove that?
It's a default position. Until you can give me a reason to think the universe has a definite beginning, then the universe actually does have the time goes back infinitely into the past. Okay.
So let's take Hilton's Hotel, for example, right? Let's say there's an infinite amount of rooms, right? And let's say, so infinite amount of rooms, and there's actual infinite in this hotel. And let's say you take, out of those infinite amount of rooms, you take 2, 4, 6, 8, so on, all evens, and take them all out, okay? So what do you got there in this equation? You got an actual infinite minus an actual infinite equals what you're left with, an actual infinite, okay? And then let's take another scenario where you take the same hotel, infinite amount of rooms, and you take all those rooms, and then you take from 4, 5, 4 and up, 4 to infinity up. So what do you take there? You had an actual infinite minus an actual infinite equals 3.
Why are we treating infinite like a number in a math equation?
Because an actual infinite does not exist. It's only a potential infinite.
Why should I think it's only potential?
Say it one more time. I didn't hear you. Sorry.
Why should I think it's only potential?
Because an actual infinite is illogical and it makes no sense.
What's illogical about it?
I literally just told you. So you have an actual infinite minus an actual infinite equals an actual infinite. That's your answer. How do
you minus an infinity from an infinity?
How do you do in math?
You don't. Infinity is not a number, bud.
Yeah, it represents something, doesn't it?
It represents.
So
like
you take
it doesn't represent
of
anything. Infinity is infinity.
Yes, exactly. So you take infinity minus infinity equals infinity, and then you take another
How do you
equation of
minus infinity from infinity? That doesn't
equals
even make
3.
any sense.
Elijah, it's like you're saying, how do I take 3 minus a bunny rabbit? Like you can't.
That's two different categories that you're confusing. I'm talking
Yeah, no,
about
that's what you're
literal...
confusing, Elijah. You're treating infinity as if it is a number, and Dalton is explaining to you that it is not a number.
Okay, so then if we lived in an actual infinite universe, there would be an actual infinite number of days, an infinite number of events. Would you agree?
But it's not numbered. It's not like infinity is not a number, bud.
Okay, yes, I get that. Let me give you another example, because maybe we're just talking past each other. Let's say you have Saturn and Jupiter going around the sun, right? And Saturn, because it's closer to the sun, will do we'll do an actual infinite amount of revolutions around the sun, and Jupiter will do an actual infinite amount of revolutions around the sun. Yet Jupiter's will have a bigger actual infinite than Jupiter's. Which how can you have a bigger actual infinite than another?
Jupiter doesn't have an infinite number of revolutions around the sun.
Bro,
what are you on about? Jupiter came into existence and it'll go out of existence, so it can't infinitely circle the sun.
Okay, maybe you're not understanding me. I'm using it as an abstract idea and representation analogy of what the universe, if it's truly infinite.
But you're using things that aren't infinite to try to make this analogy, which is where it's failing.
Are you trying to take us to irreducible? What's the term? Oh, I just mixed up with irreducible
complexity.
No, that's not what I mean. No. What's
infinite
regress?
Infinite
yeah.
regress?
Is that where you're going?
That too.
Well, there's no problem with an infinite regress under B theory of time.
Okay. Yes. Well, I have to understand that more, because I don't agree with B theory, but whatever. That's just
it's the consensus view in science.
I mean, like an infinite regress, you would say that's logical.
There's nothing about it that breaks logic. Not if all moments in time are equally actual.
If A, let me unpack this. Like, if A is getting its existence from B, and B is getting its existence from C.
No. Times are not It's not like there's times that are potential that are receiving actuality. No, under B theory of time, all moments in time are actual and they're not potential.
Okay. Wait, say that one more time, so I can understand that one more time.
Under B theory of time, all moments in time are actual and not potential.
Oh, because they all exist at the same time. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes. So there's it's like one moment giving way to the next.
Yeah, it's like a movie where the tape is going, right? And you still have that tape you can rewind or fast forward, and it's still all actualized.
Yes.
Okay, interesting. And you reject A theory of time, where it's like a Broadway play, and you
Correct.
see it and at the And why
Correct.
is that though?
The reason physicists hold to B theory of time is because of special relativity. It's like the natural repercussion of B theory of time being true. Also, with A theory of time, you end up getting the problem of the infinite regress, because it's impossible for a God to exist outside of time and do anything. He can't go from not creating to creating. Therefore, the God has to exist within some sort of meta time, and then it would just exist eternally into the past, and it needs to get from point A to point B in order for A theory of time to be true.
Interesting. Yeah. I'm looking forward to studying that more, to be honest. And I'm coming to you talking with you as I enjoy this conversation. Just saying. So I'm not trying to. I get so much passionate. It's probably same as you guys. But yeah. So I'm still studying through these things, just as you guys are still studying through and trying to find your worldview. Yeah. No, that's interesting. Yeah. Okay, but going back to the I think there's a good philosophical case, against the an actual infinite. Have you watched Alex O'Connor versus Dr. William Lane Craig, the recent one?
No.
Okay, because they unpack it more And Dr. Craig answers all. I love Alex O'Connor. He's my favorite atheist because he always instills great thinking into us. But he does hit the same objections as you do. However, they don't really succeed because I get you believe in the Big Bang, and that doesn't mean necessarily that it's the beginning. But you do agree that, let's say, the second law of thermodynamics, that everything's winding down, that it needed to be wound up, correct?
That it needs to be wound up?
Yeah, because second law of thermodynamics, that everything is winding down. Entropy, it's all winding down. And
you're talking about entropy. You're talking about entropy.
A little bit, yeah.
Which only works in a closed system, and we don't know that the universe is necessarily a closed system.
What do you mean by that?
That we don't know if the universe is a closed system. If it's receiving energy from somewhere else, then entropy wouldn't affect it.
Where would this be? So if it is receiving energy from somewhere else,
we don't know. That's the problem. Is that we can't.
Material.
No, it would just come from I don't think. If something spaceless, timeless, and immaterial is something that just simply doesn't exist. You just described nothing.
Well, I think I just described God right there. But
then God is nothing.
That it doesn't exist.
Then God is nothing.
To me that doesn't exist.
Nothing. You just described the word nothing. Nothing is immaterial. Nothing exists in no space, and it also exists for zero time. That's nothing.
I disagree. Then wouldn't say that's nothing. I would say that is something that is immaterial, spaceless, or timeless.
Which is nothing.
You could say it's.
You just described nothing perfectly.
Okay.
And succinctly.
All right, sure. Okay. Well, what's your definition of nothing? Just those three?
Did God move from not creating the universe to creating the universe?
Yes.
That's change. Change requires time. Therefore, God is not timeless.
Nope. No,
yes.
I disagree with that. No, it does not. No, it does not necessarily mean that. No. Because I believe
so
that
there's one moment when God isn't creating. No, there's a moment where God's not creating and a moment where he is creating.
It's a logical moment. Doesn't necessarily have to be in time.
What's a logical moment? Are we making up terms now?
No. This is where it literally he instantly decides. Boom.
Instantly is a temporal statement.
Yes. Well, okay. I still though, I disagree that if it's immaterial, spaceless, timeless, all powerful, and personal, because I have to decide when to create. I still, you're defining that as nothing, but you're kind of just I don't.
Yes,
I don't know.
Your God exists in zero space and for zero time and isn't made of anything, you just described nothing.
Okay, to our universe. When it's immaterial, I think I would reject that that notion of nothing. But okay, I see your point. I understand what you mean by that. Yeah. Okay. Yep. Can we just talk briefly about the resurrection of Christ?
Sure.
Okay. I know you probably have to go to the next. Is there a next caller?
Here's my argument. People don't live for 2,000 years. It's been 2,000 years since Jesus existed. Therefore, Jesus is dead unless you can give me a reason to think that he's still alive.
Okay. Do you believe that Jesus was a historic person?
Yes.
Okay. Do you believe that he was executed under Pontius Pilate and put in the under Roman crucifixion and put in the tomb of Joseph of Arimathea?
All of that except for the tomb. I don't believe in the tomb of Jesus.
Okay, interesting. However, there is not only the 4 independent sources for the Gospels, but there's 4 other independent sources like Clement of Rome, or you have Tacitus, Lucian, that all talk about how he's put in the tomb of Arimathea and dead.
No, the only ones who mention Joseph of Arimathea would be the Gospels, and they're not 4 independent sources. Are you familiar with the synoptic problem? The Gospels of Matthew and Luke are directly dependent on the Gospel of Mark, and then the Gospel of John was written at a time when those Gospels had already been circulated and the mythology of the empty tomb had already been established. Paul never once mentions
Okay.
Jesus being buried in a tomb. Isn't that interesting?
Yes, I think it is interesting. However, sure, it is interesting. I'll give it to you. But like, let's say 1 Corinthians 15. Yeah, 1 Corinthians 15. Like that's early creed that Paul is given, right? This is within like some historical New Testament scholars say, and this is atheist and theist, say this is between 1
1 Corinthians 15
years.
mentions nothing about an empty tomb. It mentions Jesus was buried,
but it does,
but that's perfectly
resurrected.
We'll get to that in a second. But that Jesus was buried is perfectly satisfied by Jesus being thrown into a mass grave, like typically what happened to crucifixion victims. And as far as the resurrection claims, perfectly explained through the processes of bereavement, hallucination, and collective delusion. No need for a resurrected Jesus.
Let's hit those right there. Let's unpack the conspiracy theories. So,
do
you believe in the hallucination conspiracy theory?
It's not a conspiracy theory. It's a psychology.
Well, that's okay. Well, actually, basic psychology says that if 30 to 60. So that wait, hold on. That creed that was given to Paul within 1 to 10 years. 1 to 10 years. So that means it cannot be a myth or legend. And we have to then treat it as if it is historical or not, right? And I think 1 to 10 years is a historical claim. It's a historical claim that Paul's given.
Just get to it. Hurry up. Get to it. 500.
Okay. 500 eyewitnesses. Psychologists even know that 500
eyewitnesses to what?
Eyewitnesses cannot all hallucinate upon the same person.
No one's making the claim that they're hallucinating. So let's do the 500 game, because Christians love to talk about the 500. What did they see?
Yeah. Jesus.
In what way?
Physical form.
How do you know that?
Because it says 500 were his eyewitnesses.
It doesn't say eyewitnesses. It says that he appeared to more than 500 brothers and sisters all at once. By the way, the Greek word ophthe there, having a semantic range that can refer also to the mental perception. For example, if a bunch of Christians got together in a room and started praying and fasting, and they felt a sense of presence, with a few people having hallucinations or auditory, visual hallucinations, tactile hallucinations, it doesn't require an objective appearance of Jesus to 500 people.
Okay. I see that. However, okay, what was I just about to say? Sorry, I'm just lost my train of thought. What was I about to say? But that same Greek word there, I'm pretty sure, is used when it talks about Thomas and how he appeared to Thomas, and that was a physical reaction, a physical interaction with Christ.
It's also used for seeing visions, and also referring to mental perception, such as the phrase, "I see what you mean." That word ophthe is also used in the New Testament, refer to mental perception and awareness of something, not necessarily visual sight. So you're drawing too much of a conclusion about what 1 Corinthians 15 entails based on the limited information.
Okay, but that same Greek word is used when it talks about Thomas, and that was a physical interaction with Jesus' physical body.
And it's also used for visions, when people don't have physical interactions with Jesus. In fact, that same exact word is used later on in 1 Corinthians 15, when Paul says, "Last of all, he appeared also to me," which was a visionary experience. In fact, Paul says it was an N-word experience. If Paul can use the word ophthe to refer to an N-word mental perception of Jesus, then you don't know what he means with any definition to the 500, because literally this is the only thing is said about them in the entirety of the New Testament.
Okay. Do you believe that hallucination has to be primed? You have to be primed psychologically to have hallucination.
We're not talking about hallucinations necessarily. All that's required is a sense of presence.
Oh? No, okay, but you're pushing this hallucination theory. Do you
You're not listening. You're not listening. You're not listening.
I don't think
all that's required for Jesus to, quote, appear to the 500. It doesn't have to be a visual appearance. It can also be auditory hallucinations, tactile hallucinations, or even just simply a sense of presence.
Okay, I get that. But to have a hallucination, I have to ask you, do you have to be psychologically primed to want to see it?
No. 30 to
Why?
60% of grieving individuals experience bereavement hallucinations, and they're not psychologically primed to do so. Perfectly healthy, psychologically healthy individuals can experience bereavement hallucinations.
But they were still close to that loved one, right?
And Peter was close to Jesus.
Yeah, but James was not close to Jesus. He was Jesus' brother.
He was Jesus'
appeared to
brother.
him. He was not psychologically
He
primed
was
for that.
Jesus. What do you mean he wasn't close to Jesus? He was Jesus' brother.
Yeah, but he denied him. He denied him.
Well, we actually don't know that from Paul's own writings. That's something you get from the Gospels, and I don't necessarily trust the Gospels to accurately tell us things about what Jesus said and did.
Moving the goalpost.
No, that's
not
always been my
works.
position. Nope, that's always been my position. I don't trust the Gospels to be historically accurate
And why is that?
because they make up stuff about Jesus all the time.
Like what?
For example, the day that Jesus, the nativity stories, one of those is a lie.
Oh, no, hold on.
Right?
Let's talk about the day. Let's talk about the day. We can totally talk about the day. I can answer that objection real easy.
Your face, Sarah's killing me.
Are you referring to the
was Jesus
synoptic?
crucified? Was Jesus crucified? I mean, born during the reign of King Herod the Great, or under the rule of Quirinius?
I think both can be true.
It can't be both true. Do you know why Quirinius became governor of Syria in the first place and did his census of the people?
Why?
Because Archelaus had been deposed from his position as king of Judea. And do you know why Archelaus was made king of Judea?
I do not. Inform me.
Because Herod the Great died. You don't get the census under Quirinius and the annexation of the province of Rome, of Judea to Rome, without Herod's death. Jesus cannot both be born during the reign of King Herod the Great, who died in 4 BCE, but also born during the time when Quirinius did his census in 6 CE. That's like saying the Bible guy was born in 96 under Clinton, but also the Bible guy was born in 06 under Bush. Someone's not telling the truth about Jesus' birth.
Yes. King Herod, yep. And wait, so are you saying the Synoptic Gospels say that Jesus was born under King Herod, and John says something else, or what?
Matthew says Jesus was born under King Herod. Luke says he was born during the census under Quirinius a decade later.
Okay, interesting. Yep. And
so unless he crawled back up into his mother's vagina, this is quite literally an impossible story to be true. One of them's not true. Someone's making up stories about Jesus' birth.
Yes, but do you agree though that even though I will address this later, but even though hold on, let me clear my thoughts. Do you agree though that Luke, let's say just take Luke for example, that he was trying to historically write about Jesus?
Wait, Elijah, you don't get to just blow by that. So if you're going to try and make the claim, wait, Elijah, I need you to stop talking for a sec, man. So if you are going to make the claim that these texts are historically accurate, you actually need to acknowledge the fact that you have seen a direct contradiction. And therefore, one of these two accounts is wrong. So what are you going to do with that now that you've seen that at least one of the Gospels is wrong?
Well, I would push back and say I think there is an answer to it, and just a little bit of like I think I would totally get back to you if you're going to have another conversation, because I can probably answer it if I did a little more research on it. I'm just not informed.
So wait, Elijah,
upon this.
how would it be possible? Like, what research could you do that says Jesus was born under Herod versus Jesus was born after Herod's death? Like, those two things cannot occur.
I can explain it. Okay, because Luke, most of the time, and John, Luke writes usually theological references or theological facts. Other things that have like theological, let's say, for example, Matthew.
How is it theologically true that Jesus was born during the census of Quirinius?
Genealogy. You look at Matthew's genealogy and look at Luke's genealogy, and some say, "Oh my gosh, look at these! They're so wrong."
Elijah.
What?
What does it mean to theologically be born while Quirinius is the governor of Syria?
I'm just telling you that other contradictions that are usually used by atheists can be usually answered and reconciled.
But this can't be answered by saying theology, because they're making historical claims about when Jesus was born by citing political leaders.
Yes, and I see your point. I think it's a valid point. I have to give it to you. Yeah, and I will look into that. I will try to look into that. And I think, like, are you trying to get a gotcha on me? Like, good job. I see that you have a valid
No,
point.
you asked me why I don't consider the Gospels to be historically reliable. And it's because they make shit up about Jesus.
No, but you're pointing out one reference. One reference point does not therefore mean that it derails the whole
Sure.
gospel.
You want another? You want another one?
Let's do it.
Yeah. Was Jesus crucified on the preparation day for the Passover or on the Passover?
Easy. John, who uses Roman calendar, is different than Matthew, Mark, and Luke that uses Jewish calendar.
Oh, buddy, no. This is first and foremost, I don't think you understand how the Jewish and Roman calendars worked. Both Jews, first and foremost, Jewish versus Roman calendar wouldn't change the day on which Jesus was crucified, whether or not he was crucified on the 14th of Nisan, the preparation day for the Passover, or on the 15th of Nisan, being Passover itself. Roman versus Jewish calendar wouldn't fix that. You're thinking of the problem with the fact that one gospel says he was crucified at 9 a.m., the third hour, versus him being on trial before Pontius Pilate at the 6th hour, which is 12 in the afternoon. Although that also doesn't get reconciled about what you're talking about, because the only difference between Roman and Jewish calendar was when they counted the civil day, not how they counted the hours of the day. But why is it that in okay?
Very
so
true.
the
I agree with that. Yeah, that's true.
The Last Supper
differently.
The Last Supper. What was the Last Supper according to the Gospels?
What do you mean? What was it?
What holiday? What Jewish holiday were being celebrated by Jesus and his disciples?
Passover, I think.
Passover. And when does one eat the Passover? And when does one eat the Passover meal on the Jewish calendar?
I to be honest, don't know, if I'm going to be honest.
So it's on the 14th of Nisan, as soon as the sun sets.
Okay.
That's when you eat the Passover meal, meaning that according to the Synoptic Gospels, the preparation day for the Passover happens on the 14th. Sun sets, Jesus and his disciples eat the Passover meal, and Jesus is crucified the next day on Passover. But in the Gospel of John, it says explicitly in John 19:14 that the trial and crucifixion of Jesus took place on the preparation day for the Passover. In fact, it says in the Gospel of John, the Pharisees don't want to go into Herod's court, so they don't defile themselves so that they can eat the Passover later that evening. How can Jesus both be crucified before the Passover meal, but also eat the Passover meal?
Yes, I understand your objection. Yes. I'm pretty sure when I looked into that, I'm pretty sure John does he not use the Roman calendar?
No. He says the preparation day for Passover in the afternoon, which is the 14th of Nisan.
I'm pretty sure that if I remember right, that he does. But okay, even if like I get you are presenting these contradictions, right?
I suggest
are apparent differences.
For research, I suggest for research purposes, the paper you ought to read on this it's actually a Christian paper, by the way. This is not from a secular source. This is a Christian paper. It's called Roman versus Jewish Reckoning of Hours in the Gospel of John, an exegetical misconception that refuses to die, by Father Adam Kubish from the John Paul II Catholic University of Lublin. And it's about, this bad apologetic of Roman versus Jewish time.
Our show is about over. Like, we have reached the end point of our show. But Elijah,
conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. And we do this Saturday nights, so you are absolutely welcome to come back on another Saturday night for sure.
I will. Can I just leave one last remark?
As long as you don't preach at us.
I won't. I'll try not to. One, thank you so much for doing this. I think you guys are trying to seek the truth, and same as me. So I hope we can look past our differences and maybe just keep on discussing these things. I think both y'all bring up really good points. So I like that, and I will dive into that and try to answer them. But lastly, I think even though you can point to apparent contradictions or differences in the Gospels. I get that, but I think you would have if all the Gospels said the exact same thing and everything is exactly the same, I think that would have been a greater problem, because if you have more differences, then it shows that they were not copying from the same person or same text. And so if let's say, I know you guys have probably ever heard this before, but if
I love
let's
how
say
you're
a
trying to
car
get.
accident
I love
happens,
how you're going to get. I
and
love how you're
four,
trying to get another debate point in
yes,
that we're not going to have time to answer.
okay,
Let's not do that, bud.
yeah,
Save
no,
it for
I
another
understand.
night.
Yes,
But
so
thank you very
Saturday
much
nights,
for coming
yeah,
in.
thank you so much as well. God bless. Yeah.
Have a good night.
May the force be with you.
It is interesting, the point that he's making. If you want, it depends on what claims you're making about the Bible. Like if you're trying to claim that the Bible is perfect, then one tiny contradiction makes your claim incorrect. So I hate that talking point too.
Yeah. I love being patronized by an 18-year-old. But we got lots of super chats, lots of them.
Well, thanks, friend.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna read our super chat, and generally we read the ones $5 or more. So this one is from Michelle. I'm new to studying the faults in the Bible and was surprised to learn how many myths were stolen from other myths. Yeah, absolutely. And I've learned a lot about that kind of lately as well too. So for sure.
Yeah. And then we got here at Mr. Ron with the $10. The bunny reminds me of one Toby.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means either. But thank
Hopefully
you for
it's a
the
good
$10. Yeah.
Okay, wait, if you want to load them all, and we can read them. I don't know where you are in them. So
Yeah, I got you.
Perfect. Ekta. Hey, Ekta with the $10 super chat. This lifelong atheist has been dedicated to imagination and art my entire life and didn't break a $35,000 salary until my 40s. Guys like Sam will never recognize the beauty of the human spirit. Never. Yeah, his whole argument was wild.
It sounded more like an argument against capitalism than God or than atheism, but it is what it is. Jovan, if you're listening, I love you. And then at Sky Plays with the $5, I think the caller is under the delusion that this is his show, being Sam. He definitely was under that delusion, that's for sure.
This is from Puriform. Interesting. Elijah 2026. Only to you, Timu Philbro. # we are Jimmy Snow.
We are Jimmy Snow. Oh yeah, Timu Philbro. God, the Philbro stuff. That's why on my show I have a 5-minute timer for these guys. Or I always keep my own Philbro in my pocket to pull out and to debate them. At Billy Sipes with a $49.99 W to Billy Sipes. I feel as over Elijah's argument as the host look. If I could capture their expression as an emoji, I would use it at work every day. Yeah, you were at one point frozen, and you were frozen like it was perfect. It was absolutely perfect because that's how we were all feeling on the inside.
I famously cannot hide my emotions on my face.
No, a W to Sara for that.
Joshua says he hasn't made it out of the I'm in the first week of learning Philbro nonsense so I can feel smart for once arguments. I do wish the frustrating part of that to me is the condescension in that perhaps this person has just discovered these arguments and the assumption is that we have never heard these arguments.
Yeah, and in fact, I hear these arguments like dozens of times a week.
Mm-hmm.
At Squirrel Knitter, love that, with the $5. Does Elijah need to convince someone else to keep himself convinced? It's the desperation in their voice. A lot of these younger Philbros, they talk as if they get overly excited. They talk a bit fast, and I get it. I used to be that excited, until I did this for years, and now I'm a bit slower in my old age. Calm down, kiddo, and the arguments aren't going anywhere. Here we go.
Misha with a 20 Australian, maybe.
Yep. Good night.
Late to the party, but we'll catch up. Love this combo and this show. Go Dolphin and Sara, and stay rock hard for Doug.
W to Dolphin. That's what they called me in elementary school. I'm glad that one made a comeback. And at Joshua Everett with the $5, we're usually spoiled by higher level Phil Bros than Elijah. This feels like his first week. Perhaps. Absolutely, yeah.
Pierre Forum says this was a wonderful show. Thanks to all the folks at the line and all those who support. Back to the monad. I don't know what that means.
Don't know what the monad is, but yeah.
Yes, thank you so much to the whole line staff. Absolutely.
And that's it on the super chats.
Yay. All right. Well, thank you so much to everyone who hung out with us tonight. I know Saturday nights are still kind of a new thing, and so it takes a little while to, get some callers. So I appreciate y'all hanging out. And thank you so much to Luthien for being our producer.
Oh.
And if you like the content that we have here, there are shows on the line almost every night. So please come back and check frequently. I know there's a big one tomorrow. Sunday's always kind of a big day. So please subscribe and check out the content that is on the Live's Patreon as well.
One more bonus super chat again from Billy Sipes with another $49.99. A big W to Billy Sipes. Today's show has been brought to you by Billy Sipes. One more. I've seen you both separately, and I've always enjoyed your thoughts and your commentary. Seeing the team up has made me an even bigger fan.
That's delightful.
Thank
you,
that.
Billy.
And I love working with the lovely Sara.
Same to you.
You mellow me out. You keep me calm and collected. Because trust me, if this had been my own show, I would have torn Elijah to pieces.
I'm glad you didn't. You were good. Yes, I'm glad you didn't yell at him. To be fair, though, I mean, I rolled my eyes pretty significantly, so I can't judge.
Well, if that's the worst you've got, Sara, I think we're all fine. Oh, no, she rolled her eyes.
Alrighty. Well, we will see you all next Saturday and in shows sooner than that. So thank you guys so much for coming, and we will say good night.